Elements, de kan bare smække. Jeg er så fristet. Hvordan kører det? Hele tiden. Unprompted. Ja, jeg skal vælge. Det er et sted for at smide min plads.
in DreamWorks' entire catalog, even outdoing its 2 sequels in this department. It also offers compelling character drama for both its hero and villain, wonderful music, excellent art direction, good humor, just pretty much everything you could ever want in a movie. I'm sure you've already seen it before, but maybe give it a rewatch because it holds up exceptionally well, and I would love to see more people discuss its dramatic strengths. Speaking of dramatic strengths, you better believe I'm going to talk about Kung Fu Panda 2 sooner or later. That's a movie I absolutely have no trouble calling underrated, so stay tuned for that. And then I guess I'll talk about 3 as well. I mean, sure, why not? Good night, Valley of Peace.
Attention gamers. Previously, in my hopeless attempts to gain self-validation by winning more games in League of Legends, I went through a spiritual awakening of thinking double mage bot lanes were my ticket to free Elo Island, but no amount of photoshopping my win rate on websites to show my friends could make up for the fact that I was staring at more black and white than a colorblind kid watching TV in the 70s. So I swallowed my pride and decided that I, Rav, 10-year hard-stuck complainer of metas and more, would actually try to improve at the game, hoping that I was about to launch the biggest rank glow up ever. But as the famous saying goes, high hopes is for dopes who cope. And I was about to be left shattered. So today you are going to see the events that led up to me playing my last League of Legends game ever. It all started in a game against some Oppenheimer fanboy and his pet Swarovski crystal, and I knew when they hit level 6 I'll be getting knocked up and cucked more than a single mom of 6 who never learned about condoms, so I wanted to press my advantage and apparently both of my summoner spells early to get first blood. Then we are casually getting poked out of lane by Majora's Mask Zelda Ziggs, but little do they know we have Mr. Identity Theft in the area who dives balls deep into danger, so I help the situation with a fat swanky Jane amount of damage, which is enough to trigger a sequence that could only be developed with over 200 years of collective game design experience, which means I get to watch the ghost of these dead bitches' friends assist me in killing them off. At this point I'm thinking this is going well, but unfortunately for the floating power plant I brought to work today, the bad guys just learned how to ult, and since I prioritize targets like an ADHD coke addict prioritizes tasks, I chase the wrong target while Static Stanley gets sizzled. This leaves me in a situation where some adversarial glacier is overly enthusiastic to play rock paper scissors with me, and even though I know he's gonna throw rock, I'm worried he's gonna earn that paper until Mini Majora steps into the danger zone and gets butt blasted. The supports step out to get some milk as their bomb rat overextends. I can tell he's sleep deprived by the deep dark blue circles around his eyes, so I figure I will put him out of his misery while I contemplated sharing the credit with Viego, but then decided against being a good teammate, which totally won't come back to haunt me later, right? My support was continuing to graciously accept all donations of enemy abilities while I was huffing copium in the tall grass sniping granite slabs with my ult. I guess word got out that the toastered bathtub was the man of the hour when it came to getting absolutely shit on, so I waved to their jungler as if I gave him my permission to invert my own support's anus as I selfishly focused on the shitty Kindred cosplaying Ziggs to trade 1 for 1. Then I prepared to fight in round 2 of the winner's bracket, and after opening up sport Kings and placing a bet against myself in this one, I somehow defied the odds with the classic close your eyes, stand still and right click technique. I was honestly feeling pretty good, strong enough to look a top laner in the eyes by myself, which had its backpack cannon shitting itself in the wrong direction, so I called a few friends over to make fun of it. I knew the enemy team had threats, but luckily their support skipped the page in his manual that talked about how to one-shot ADCs, as he was clearly doing something wrong, and the amount of life stealing that the red sword in my inventory was giving me countered the grey parse amounts of DPS he was putting out. My team did a great job of removing any cameras deployed in the shrubs, so when the weaponized Stephen Hawking walked up, he was met with a surprisingly fatal amount of love taps coming out of my pretty pistols. Anytime I ran into their support, I would boot up a quick game of I don't need to see you to shit in your mouth, and I was enjoying the amenities of having right clicks that score chicks, as I could kill my opponents faster than they could say unstoppable force, and things were feeling good. But this was the moment where I fell victim to the oh so common flaw that ADC players experience, known as, I'm fed but I'm still utter shit at this game and don't know how to position correctly, and here's how it went. So after a period of 14 minutes that I could only assume is about as fun as Chinese water torture, I single-handedly threw a game that I was destined to carry, giving up, and if after 10 years of playing this game still ends in me failing this bad, maybe League isn't for me. Is what a pussy would say, so I immediately queued up again and vowed that the next game would be the hardest I've ever carried a game in my life. I would abuse every enemy fiddlesticks ADC who paths away from safety in the face of adversity. When he teleports into our lane out of thin air as if someone just said Voldemort while rubbing their bare gooch on a Ouija board, I will promptly ult him and then stand on my business, which is losing a slap battle against a bard support. I will let my support do 99.5% of the work in lane, tying up that cosmic ball sack and removing all his health so that I can come in and click him like a file that needs moved to the recycling bin before receiving my credit. When my teammates prioritized using their own resources to visit me, I was sure to show my appreciation by rewarding myself with a paycheck before leaving that pre-puberty rat to deal with the rest of the bad guys down here himself. At one point I chased down their fiddle and made him promise that if he sees me ult to immediately stop me, because my dad says that behavior's not ladylike, as my support would then come in to fire up the titty laser and make me overextending like a dislocated elbow seem intentional. Their mid laner, the one who escaped from Hogwarts daycare, had a high bounty on his head and I was going to be the one to send that jizz-sized wizard back to base. I timed my ults like Dr. Disrespect times his DMs to girls, aka way too early in their lives, but it didn't matter because the only thing illegal here was the amount of damage my bedazzled bullets were doing, as we all collectively agreed to give one person on each team that triple kill dopamine. I was getting so fed you'd think this video was on the Beard Meats Food channel as I asked Lux for the dessert menu and she offered me a stack of dead bitch pancakes as my own power was starting to scare me. A cinch tried to wingman his skinny creepy friend a bit too hard, so I flashed from that dude's bloody fart trail and then had the authorities remove both of those creeps from my sight. This also gave me a quadra, which apparently starts some long ass timer in which I can get a pentakill, but I guess you've had to experience that in the past to understand it. So when my support once again held my hand and prepped literally everything for me, I still managed to cuck it up and then not even understand what I did wrong, and that, my friends, is why they call me Joe Biden. And I can say that because I also think Trump is a sack of shit. So now that everyone is offended, let's continue to talk about how this game somehow turned into my last. Is right now a popular saying, he can dish it out but he can't take it, could definitely describe damage because I was somehow feeling beefy in this K-pop mafia outfit, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't think a single thing on the Rift could take me down. That said, for as fast as Hagrid's left nut can erase a squishy, I could erase him with 1/3 of the required brain power, but me holding 112% of the gold on my team was starting to take its toll on my coworkers, and even though I could remove this giant ballsack's power faster than a vasectomy, the warning signs were starting to show. I vowed after that last game that I would never throw again, especially against players acting like they've been breathing their own chemical brain cell killing gas a little too much. Some gossip girl told the bad guys about Baron, and now I had to be all XOXO, try to not miss position like a dumbass in this fight, which led to me not participating as much as I would like. But then things started to look up until a Bard ult that makes all other Bard ults real quiet comes out, stunning half of us while clearly turning the other half's brains off as the startled deer somehow gets out. I didn't think much of it because I was now in 6 item territory, aka 3 auto attack kills anyone territory, while having the foresight to know that somewhere out there a Fiddlesticks is rocking a full blown boner, and sure enough he came and flailing it around like a registered sex offender, so we put a stop to that behavior until there were just 2 left. I took one look at Bard and said, fool me once with that tether bullshit, shame on me. Try to fool me twice, I'm gonna flash that shit and hit a more beautiful love tap than the sex scene from Titanic. That said, Tiny Dumbledore remained up, and for reasons that I can't state without losing my temper, we were unable to end the game. I was nearing 30 kills, but time after time, we just couldn't put the pieces to this puzzle entitled Finish the Fucking Game together, as everyone else was now approaching full build, and after vowing to never throw another game again less than an hour ago, I looked at 3 enemies passionately defending their nexus with a purpose, while I continued to show that after 10 years of playing this game I quite literally still have no idea what I'm doing, as I chose to try and defend only to come up short. Leading me to the realization that if I can't close out a game like this, I have no choice than to make it my last and to move on. Rav out.
Yo, the bots are gone. To celebrate, let's play Dust Bowl, and Dust Bowl only. I'm sure you've heard by now. The bots, they're gone. Valve banned a lot of them. A lot of them. A lot of bot hosters as well, which is nice. I mean, it was only a matter of time. It really was. Like, Valve would be, I don't know. It sucks that it took so long, but I mean, Valve would be completely dumb to not do anything. It was like I got in on the losing team. Let's try and change that. Let's try our absolute darndest to try and change that. How about that? We have whoa, ooh. We have 5 pyros. Sorry, I was a little I got jump scared. Got jump scared by the pyros. Please put me on the other side. My efficiency has gone down. But hey, I have a fellow engineer helping me to make up for it, so that's nice. You know what? Fuck it. Oh, never mind. I was gonna try and put it at that window, but they're 100% gonna, they are going to Uber. I was gonna put it in the window. The classic window spot. And maybe I will, you know? It depends on what happens here. And honestly, I think I move it now. Because we got the Flog Pyro going in to cover, and their only pushers died, so let's just set up. Do we have a medic? We do, but he's dead. So get past my classic Dust Bowl window spot sentry. Man, this is like nostalgic, this right here, for me. I don't know about any for you guys, but this is like something that I used to do for hours and hours, just putting it in that window. When I first started playing this game back in what, 2012, 13? I know I'm not the oldest TF2 player. This game came out a long time ago. There are people who've been playing longer than me, but man, look at all that juicy metal on the ground there. Wrangler out. Come on in. Come on, team. Come on to the other side here. Alright, Wrangler out. Soldier unaware of why he's taking damage. Gotta love that. Here, I'm gonna leave. Oh! The Dust Bowl! The Dust Bowl fucking ceiling. That's the one thing. I wish that they would update this map to just make the ceiling higher, man. Because when you play a soldier, or any rocket jumping class for that matter, that really does come into play. Like, pretty often. Bonking your head. Maybe they won't find my secret teleporter, though. Who took this? I'm gonna build this here for now. Okay, I'm leaving. Never mind. They didn't find my thing, so I might be a little irresponsible here, if you don't mind. And leave the point alone for a little bit after I kill our intruder. And I'm leaving. Hello. Get jump scared. What's that, a dispenser? What's that, an engineer? You just ain't doing it right. Oh my god, my entire team is dead. Oh, okay. You know, I haven't seen a good random crit in a while. Okay. Oh, he blocked my placement. Unfortunately, I was gonna block him. Where's my teleporter? Is it being watched? No, I can still do. A little bit of a sneak, I think. No! Come on, team. In order to effectively ninjaneer, you have to have a team that is going to hold down the fort while you play around, unfortunately. Maybe we'll get an opportunity to do that on blue, though. But it's been interesting. I saw a post on Reddit, or I can't remember where I saw. I think somebody had posted on my Discord. I don't remember. But it was a post where somebody said something along the lines of, like, after playing Uncletopia for years, now you go back to casual, and then it's like, oh god, like, I feel like I'm sweating now. But I think what it means is, it is very odd seeing players in this game who are brand new, like brand spanking new. It's a lot more rare on community servers. So if you've been playing community servers, not just Uncletopia, but in community servers in general, I feel like you might have missed the odd, weird players. This guy's just gonna hold down the button. It's a war of attrition. My patience versus your ammo count. Oh, never mind. Wait, how did I get one shot after picking that up? We weren't able to push out because I rolled unlucky on teammates. New Dust Bowl. Commence. But yeah, now I guess the question on everybody's mind is how long can this last? Because, you know, bot ban waves have happened in the past, and they last for a week or so before they find some other way to get around it. So we'll see. I mean, like, all signs point to them being consistent about it so far. So I mean, it's hard to say where it's gonna go. It's like, do we fucking, plant a victory flag in the ground and say TF2 is back, or do we? I don't know. I don't think we do, because it's hard to tell what's going to happen from here on out. Valve could very easily just stop doing what they're doing tomorrow, and things would just go back to the way they were in a month. But for now, though, I mean, it's looking good. It's looking better than it has looked in a very, very long time. Like, I want to say, like, almost 5 years now. But now people are asking, like, did save TF2 or fix TF2 work? I mean, I don't know. It's up in the air whether what we did or what the community's impact had on their decision to do it, but it is interesting timing. I personally, if you're gonna ask me, I think that it did do its job. I think that we made enough noise to where they were like, okay, let's expedite whatever we may have had half completed in the background as far as plans go. Maybe they had a few meetings back in like 2022 or something, but nothing came to fruition. And finally, now they're just like, okay, well, we should probably go through with a lot of those plans. That's my assumption. So good job, anybody who have voiced their opinion, who left a negative Steam review. I personally wouldn't change mine back until I can 100% say that the bot crisis is over. Who took these packs? Okay. Sorry, Scout. I know you were missing 4 health, probably. Oh, look, Stabby's on my team again. This happens quite often when I'm recording. Weird. But I'm back to playing Pyro. I know I said I mean heavy now, but everybody's been playing heavy lately. I wonder why. No, but I Pyro, obviously. I still mean Pyro a little bit. Especially with the Dragon's Fury being so good. Especially on this map. Close quarters maps are awesome. Get back here. Die. Medic? Delicious medic pick? Holy crap. Do we go back? Do we go deep for the med? We do, and we get out. I don't know how, but we get out.
Dude, I smelt that from a mile away.
See ya. Oh, see me. See me. See ya to me. What the hell? Oh my god, it's Uncle Dane. I'm gonna go say hi to Uncle Dane when I respawn. He's got a fucking golden frying pan. I wish I had a golden frying pan. What the hell?
You love the bullet spread.
The hell? Hey, Uncle Dane. What do you think about bots being gone? What's your opinion? Yeah, me too. I agree.
He's anti.
He's auntie. No, he's uncle. Oh man, this thing is so double kill. No.
Well, with people dropping out last minute, we now have just 16, which is not promising. Let's see how many show up, and then we'll know what we're doing.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey. $16. We can do Kazakh with 16. That much is certain. And we can do dynamic molten core until Geddon.
Maybe you can just do Onyxia then instead of Molten Core.
Problem with Onyxia is that 3 people do not have attunements, so it's only 13.
Man, I guess he was overhealed.
They were saving their Ren heads, but now with the super cool campfire,
Get so freaking cool.
we can drop one of those Ren heads today to begin with,
Send another
and
one.
save it for a later use and
Yeah,
allow
last.
one of the
Missed
people
it.
to finally complete their attunement. So
I
it's
don't
going to be
really
either
think
Vikam
that's
or
it.
Iskar, and I think we'll just roll for who gets to hand it
I
in.
don't know why I'm trying to air blast with this stupid gun.
I don't
Sucks ass at air blasting.
imagine a fairer way of doing that. Vikam rolled a 43.
I'm like holding down
And it's not,
the
yeah, there's
trigger.
a third-person Groundhog Day, but
my
you have
God, the
alts,
destruction.
so like you
I
can
feel like
already
I'm
join
playing
Onyxia
soldier
on
when
your
I play
alt
with this
character, so that's
weapon.
why you are the last priority here. Sorry, I don't
Great.
know. You're not here in the raid yet,
hell?
anyway.
What the heck is this? Don't build this here.
Oscar, if you want to roll higher than Vikam,
Hey.
you will get to hand
He's
in.
not on. He's not on here.
Iskar's not. Ah, right, all right. I'll whisper him.
Nice combo move. Alright, let's watch Stabby play. This game sometimes, man. So, especially with all the new players. That's another thing. The new players in this game are so unpredictable, man. It's been a long time.
Ah,
I've
yes,
been
he did
playing
say he
WoW,
was
I've been
going
playing casual WoW,
to
but I will
do
say
dinner.
a lot of people who
interesting.
have been playing during the WoW crisis are the true blue TF2 fans.
I'm also flying
In other
anyway, so.
words, like
Ah, there we go, Iskar.
because
One.
if
Congrats.
you are like a
Yeah, well, we still have time. We need everyone to be here, so we'll definitely hand in both heads. So who's turning in Onyxia, by the way? I know there's at least 3 heads. I have one of them, but I'm the last priority probably.
Hello.
Hello, yes. Do you still have your Onyxia head, or have you turned in last week?
I turned in a few weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, okay. So is there anyone else with it? Because I remember Tempe had one, but he just said he's not coming 2 minutes before the raid start. I thought there was one more, but if not, then I'll go and turn in mine, or at least start the first part. So let's all gather at Orgrimmar or Stormwind, and then we'll see what's up, just how many we have, because with 16, we can't do much. We can only do Kazakh, not even Azurgos. It's still like healers will go out of mana before the fight ends, pretty much.
No, I think it should be fine. I mean, if you have a couple of like priests, like they'll regen the mana through it.
You would say that, but last
any healers.
I'm healing as well. I'm just on the Warlock because I was planning to summon people, but I'm healing for sure.
So with you, we have 3 healers.
Yes, but I hope that we can persuade Groundhog Day, who's Maple, to also heal. And
4.
yeah, that is 4. For Kazakh, we don't need more than 4, I would argue. But for anything else, we definitely want 5 plus, preferably 6. So of the people with alts who are healers, we do have you.
So,
And-
your warrior, do you want anything on your warrior and a Suragos?
The cape. I would
Yeah,
take the
me
sword
too.
as well.
There is, are you talking about Typhoon?
Yeah, for PvP.
I think I would yoke the cloak. So, yeah.
Not going to waste is what you're saying.
Yes. But the Typhoon might go to waste. If you go for
Well, I
priest.
can heal.
Then if we have Maple and Human Priest, then we're at 5.
So last week we did a Zurgos as well with a few people, and people were running out of mana, including myself. I ran out of mana twice by consuming 2 major mana potions, 2 runes. So Azurgos is hard because it's with the 17 people, it would be a 6-7 minute fight.
We don't have the DPS, so it will be even longer.
Yes,
All
indeed.
of our good DPS is not here today.
Exactly. So I would say that, okay, chillax. Maybe you should heal more. Kidding. Anyway, so we'll start with Kazakh, as we can do with 4 or 5 healers, no problem. And we have 3 minutes to complete that fight. I'm sure we will manage to do just that before he enrages. Now, for everything else, we'll just see. There's 2 people on tentative, 1 on bench. If they join, maybe we can do something more.
Does anyone have a summon to Ogrimmar for Rend buff?
Yeah, I do have summon to Orgrimmar. So does Rend drop only in Orgrimmar or in Stormwind as well?
Yeah. Only Ogrimmar.
I see. So I'm running to Ragefire Chasm. Chillstank, thanks for coming. We need 1 more at Ragefire Chasm
I
for
got
some
the-
summons.
I got the character there.
Or we could like do Kazakh first and then use portals to get everyone there.
Use portals to do what, sorry?
Well, to get everyone to Orgrimmar. That's faster.
We could, but we can also use the world buffs for Kazakh as well.
I think we should save the world
don't you want
buffs
to
for
store
another raid.
them?
But it's 5 gold. It's just 5 gold, guys.
No, but I mean, we have Rend buff for next raid. That's huge.
Yeah, but we can also use the campfire for Ren buff too, can't we?
Well, yes, that's what I'm saying. We save it in the campfire and don't use it this week.
They're saying we don't use it all this week. Well, if we're not doing Azurgos, I guess we don't need Ren buff, but then Iskar can't complete his Onyxia
Well, no,
request.
he drops the buff, but we store it in the campfire for next week.
Ah, I see. I see what you mean. Interesting. But do we drop Onyxia as well then?
I mean, yeah,
Might
if
as
we
well.
can store it, might as well.
Yeah. Sounds good to me, honestly. But almost everyone is already in Orgrimmar, so we should just do that.
I'll just summon the rest then.
Yes. All right. So if you need a summon, 1, 2, 3 in the chat.
Can I ask a quick question about the storing world buffs? What if you have something stored, like if you have a Songflower stored, and then you get like Songflower and Ren buff, and then you click store again, what happens?
So I think normally if you have a store, you cannot get the buff again.
What?
Question
Yeah,
is, will it override it basically or merge?
I guess, I don't know. We didn't test that.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
because you
I'm
can
a-
just take it out and then store again. It doesn't cost to take
Yes,
it out.
exactly.
Well, but then you lose your Songflower.
I mean, take out the Songflower, get the Onyxia buff, and then store everything.
Then you lose your Songflower.
Do you?
How do you mean?
Does it override your current buffs?
Because I have a Songflower stored and I have a Songflower on. So if I take it out and put
You're
it
assuming that you can get a second Songflower before after storing it. But
No,
yeah, I'm not sure.
no,
Yes,
I'm not.
if you take it out, it will override your current Songflower.
One more time, please. If I have a Songflower stored and I have a Songflower on me currently, that means I have 2 potential Songflower buffs. I have 1 on me and 1 stored. If I click,
I mean, I know what you mean, but just no one knows if it will get saved if you start again.
Okay. I didn't know no one's come across that yet.
Any more summons for anyone? 15 people. Groundhog Day. Would you mind coming to heal this raid? Because we have a very pronounced lack of healing per second. That sorry is not very promising. So which one of who of us have completed the quest? Dwarf, you have the cool campfire, right?
Grub has it.
Grub has
I have it on my
right.
priest.
Ah, I see. Great. So you'll drop it once we have the buffs. I don't know how long it lasts. Still have yet to have the time to grind some Darmol for the roots.
I have some I can send you.
Oh, nice.
When are we dropping the buffs?
So let's give it 3 more minutes at 12 past. Or I guess let's just do a check. Psalm, we're missing Psalm. We're missing Murasaki. So there's still a few people missing, actually.
So if you save them in the campfire, do you actually lose them? Your
You
current
lose them.
ones? Yeah.
Well, you store them, yes. Yeah, they're gone. Suspended, if you will.
But then you can get new ones again, so you have kind of a double duration of them.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my scenario, is that I have like Songflower and Tribute buff stored right now, and I also have Songflower and Tribute buff on right now. So I guess I'm just curious, like if I got Rend and then stored it, I wonder what would happen.
We will find out.
Yep. All right, 1 minute before we drop the buffs. Iskar, are you ready? Remember that it's the second quest that drops it, not the first one. Ready. All right. All right, dropping in 20 seconds or so people can log in. In 10 seconds. In 5. All right, talking now. If you are not logged in, it's too late for you. That's right, the next day should be coming shortly. There we go, talk to the campfire. Pay the troll toll. And it's gone. Nice, it works.
Yeah, okay, all of my buffs went to...
Where is the campfire?
It's at the Razor RFC. RFC.
Okay.
It took all the buffs? Oh, I just had 2.
Buffs. It doesn't take every buff, bro.
I wonder if it takes like UBRS fire resistance buff or the more niche like Silithist.
There was a list that said it took. I just don't. I don't remember the list.
Yeah, so DM also was taken. That's definitely by intent.
The DM is by intent, but I'm wondering about UBS and also like
Same.
like blasted lands, the buffs down there. They're not technically well buffs, but kinda still.
Yeah, there are a few niche buffs. Like there's also like a spell power buff in Scholomance if you mind control a dude.
And then
I
there's a
wonder.
You said there
BFD.
was a list. Where was that list?
It should have just been the ones that the worked on the Chronobunin Classic, so it's not going to be the BFD frosting either.
Aw. Okay, so now we're going to Kazakh. I'm going to try to summon. Starting with Kazakh, not Azurugos, because we just don't have the people, I would argue, for Azurugos. Namely because of the length of the fight and the healing pressure. So Groundhog Day, could you come and heal for Kazakh, or do you need some loot for your mage? AI, yeah, that's great. Discuss with Shelly. One of you do recklessness. The other one, two mages do elements probably. AI, are you on the voice chat at all? You don't have to speak, but just wondering whether you're here. Ah, yes, you are. I can see you. Good. So, have you done Kazakh before? Do you know what's up? I'm happy to explain. No, okay, great. So the fight is very straightforward, and that's why we're doing that with 15-ish people instead of 40 as intended, because the fight is both short and simple, with some pretty sweet loot as well. So what will happen is that once we engage the boss, you have to keep track of your mana bar. It's the most important part of the whole fight, is keeping track of your mana. Never ever go below 2000 mana, because if you do, there is a risk. The lower below 2000 you go, the higher the risk that you will explode and die and maybe kill someone standing next to you. So as long as you don't go below 2000 mana, just start live tapping early. You'll be fine. We'll be fine, and that's pretty much the fight. Nothing much more to add. Ah, yes, true, yes. Very good, Shalex. Thank you for reminding me. Warlock specific thing. You will probably have the imp out for the extra stamina, but do not ever shoot fireballs with it. If you notice that your imp is outside of phase shift, dismiss it, sacrifice it, kill it, because it can also get cursed. So the reason why we don't go below 2000 mana is because Lord Kazakh curses random mana users every now and then, which then drains their mana. And once they get to 0 mana, they explode for 4000 shadow damage to themselves and around them. So that includes the imp. So imp that is phase shifted cannot be targeted by anything, including that curse. Whereas if no, Succubus is not fine either, because it also has mana. So please use an imp and phase shift it. In general,
Don't have fire shield on either, because
yes,
it takes it out of.
True. Stop autocast of the fire shield for your imp as well. In general, AI warlocks, like I have warlock as well, Nether Shard here in the raid. You never use anything besides an imp in raids. It's just your pets will die in melee pretty much all the time. And yeah, I'm still flying Windcaller. Will be about 4 minutes before I summon. So yeah, you only use imps, and only in about half of the fights can you actually use the imp to fireball for DPS. Most of the time, your imp is just standing there, phase shifted for the stamina boost. That's just how it is. Hunter pets have more stamina, they have more resistances. They are much more survivable, but even then they still die quite often.
Yeah, so I didn't get to use the fire.
You didn't get to use the fire.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Grob, before Kazak, could you drop another fire?
Yes, AI. That is also a problem. If your pet dies while affected by, or is it all the time? I'm not actually sure when it heals the boss, but yeah, don't have your imp or any other pet outside of phase shift. I'm not sure if the pets dying affect the boss in that way. Oh, Murasaki is here. Welcome. Slightly late for the world buffs, Murasaki. There you go. That's Murasaki probably. Yeah. Hello. Slightly late for the world buffs. We already dropped Onyx and Rend.
Okay.
And we're starting with Kazakh because we don't have the numbers for anything else really.
Murasaki, you don't want to heal on Asurikos and get some healer loot on your priest?
That's a good question. We do lack healers.
I have no setup for raids, to be honest, on my
Okay.
priest. My UI is not fit for
We
that.
can just put you on healing the tank.
Yeah, 5 healers is plenty. I would say even 4 may be enough for Kazakh, but 5 is definitely enough.
We're talking about the Asurikos.
Yeah, 5 should be
Oh,
fine.
Zero Ghost, I see. Yeah, for Zero Ghost then, yeah.
But we could just have you heal like the tanks. You just target me or tanky.
No, it's not just the healers, we are also missing DPS for Zerogos.
Yep.
Ooh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, summer, right? Everyone's on holiday somewhere.
Can't you bring a laptop?
Teramus is nearby, be aware. Those who are riding to Kazakh, he is next to the demon area.
So anyone else using the lazy pick add-on?
I'm using the laser pig add-on as well, I think.
It's a 1.12.
Yeah, it's 1.12.
Yeah, I was using it on Turtle then.
What's up? What's the
It's
question?
just like I have turned off the gossip auto-processing thing, but still when I talk to the campfire, it just immediately closes again. So I need to turn the add-on off completely in order to interact with the campfire.
Right, 1, 2, 3 for summons.
Can you hold down shift while interacting with the fire?
Oh, I haven't tried that. I'll try that. See if anything
So
changes.
it used to auto talk to the fire for me, and then I turned off the auto gossip, and then it worked.
Okay, I'll test a bit when next time we get close to the fire. Yeah.
Strength and honor.
But yeah, I'm seeing 15 on voice. There are a few that haven't still showed up.
Yep. And a few who cancelled last minute. It is what it is.
Gunhilder needed fire.
What?
Say again?
No, just Grubs is asking who needed the fire.
I need the fire, yeah. There's still an Orgrimmar.
Well, you can log in. We'll summon you. Fire is here.
Taste this. Have you tasted anything that you've cooked for me tonight? Have you tasted it? What do you taste out of that? It's wrong. Is that acceptable? Stand up to the line. I have given you every opportunity to let you get back on track, and you keep fucking it up. One more time, and you are out of this kitchen.
Sorry.
Get another pot on and get it going now.
Bloody hell.
Taste this. Have you tasted anything that you've cooked for me tonight? Have you tasted it? What do you taste out of that? It's raw.
My PC just froze. I gotta restart, guys.
Sure.
We're going to discuss some of the most influential women, who you think they are, and sort of what gives them that influence. Michelle Obama, Shonda Rhimes. Women can do all sorts of things.
All right, buddy. Now disagree with that. You know, these are, you know, the Michelle Obama thing. She got there because she slept with a man.
What's up?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I think Michelle Obama is a fantastic
Wait, I
example.
got two. I got Loner and I got Yoink.
You got Yoink to join us. Hello.
I think Yoink is going to be healing.
Heyo.
Heyo.
Oh.
Hello.
Heyo.
It is
Long time no see.
So yeah, we can. So we're about to do Kazakh. We can summon Yoink and Loner.
Whisper Shard for an invite.
Shard,
another shard.
Shard. Nether Shard is now offline.
So I'm guessing Loner is coming on Mage and Yoink is coming on Just Play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I have to bring any consumables of any kind?
No.
Alright.
So the mechanics on this boss is basically it's a timed race. You just need to kill him within 3 minutes or he enrages. He does a curse on mana users and they cannot go to 0 mana.
Right.
If,
And then we
if
die.
it-
Yeah.
You would like also just explode. So just never go below like 2,000-3,000 mana.
But then I'm not very valuable here, am I?
You are. Damage.
Yeah, but if I can't... Wait, how long is the fight? If I can't go below
like
2 or 3?
2,000. But you have mana gem, you have evocate. You'll be fine.
Yeah, okay, sure.
It's a quick fight. It's just a DPS race.
Okay.
With this many DPS should take no more than 2
Half
minutes.
potions.
I'm just gonna spam on a little flash heal for boys. Still got a little prayer of healing. Then I just have to stop healing at like 2.5k mana, you guys said?
Exactly. Drink a mana potion. Continue
Drink a
healing.
mana, Yep, got you.
But yeah, like you get double the amount of healing just with the heals, not the flush.
Yeah, I'll
Alright.
just do heal then.
We're ready to start moving then? Am I the only paladin? And I don't have kings. Oh, damn. First time I'm the only paladin. I'm not prepared.
I need buffs, but I guess we buff until before we get there, right?
Yeah. We can buff as we go.
Nice mount, Loner, nice mount.
Are we in the same group, Yoink? Because then I can interact us. Yeah, we are. Good.
So, are we opening up a new fire at Kazakh?
No, I don't think we need world buffs for Kazakh.
Okay.
So we're probably not doing that. Ah.
Tackle.
Yeah, where is Kazakh?
Should be around. You may
I
not
still
be able
haven't
to-
gotten stamina buff or
Just stand here. Stand next to everyone. Don't go too far to the right now, because you may pull. His pull range is absurd, like 60 yards.
Hey, Lorna, let me get some water, bro.
Yeah, trade me. Can't see where you're.
Oh, there he is.
I'm trying to trade you, but it doesn't work. So gotta move away. No, move away from me. Yeah.
Hold on, don't pull Kazakh just yet. People need mana.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Need to prepare with the buffs and everything. Kill this mana hound first. This mana hound second, please. And if you could tank the Felguard elite away from the ranged, they would not get the Fire Nova damage. Not a big deal, but still.
No pets, right?
Yeah, pets, hunter pets are okay. They don't have mana.
Okay.
And then we gotta dismiss the pets. If he kills them, he heals.
Yeah, I guess. Well, they have 5k HP. They should survive.
I don't have any pets on my healing.
I do. I do. I'll be responsible for healing pets. Guys, you pulled too many.
Can I get wisdom?
You will in a moment. I'm healing.
Can I get a hole?
Yeah. I just meant.
All right, and we also have to kill this guy, but we have to wait one more lap now. Ah, yeah, shamans. That's right.
I'm good boy fix twos. Any
I will be dispelling. Grob, you can do decurses. You've been doing a phenomenal job.
But he probably does way more damage than me.
For healing assignments, Chillax, myself, and Shard will be on the tank. The rest on the raid.
Just waiting for him to move away. Then we'll pull the skull and regen mana and do the boss fight. Melee, if you have low HP, you could drink a greater shadow protection potion, just in case. There's a coinciding cleave and shadow bolt. Like if you have 4k or less HP, drinking a greater shadow protection potion is a good idea. That guy just doesn't want to come.
He's on vacation.
It's not a problem for casters AI.
Oh, shoot.
because as long as you don't go into melee range, you will not get cleaved, and that's the biggest raid-wide damage. It's only melee-centric. Alright, next one is the boss, so don't run forward to him. We wait for him here, and once Tankasaur will run forward, pull the boss to us. So just stay around here until Tankasaur is in position. Anyone missing any buffs? Now is the time, last time to say so. Calling in 5 seconds. Alexa, may you want to drink up? Yeah. All right.
We're getting hit by shadow bolts.
Yeah, shadow bolt. Yeah. It's a shadow bolt, not a cleave.
Hey, super easy, boys.
Yep, well done. Forgot to do Master Looter. That's all right. Pass on everything if you can. Please.
Can't do that. It's not tradable after that.
Yes.
If you pass, it's not tradable?
I guess
World boss
maybe
loot is
we
not
can loot
tradable.
it off the corpse if everyone passes.
Yeah, let's see if anyone needed on anything or greeted. No, I don't think anyone greeted, so please pass on everything.
So much loot, Jesus Christ.
Serious.
Just
Same
kept
as,
popping up.
yesterday. Last week.
There was a greed for plants.
Yeah, sorry. How's...
That's all right. Plants are not a big issue as long as you didn't greed for any epics.
Cow King's hide.
All right, let's roll those out. So, not roll, but assign with the loot council, right? Let's start with the staff, if the loot council is okay with that. Is anyone MSOS?
Yeah, going to AI then.
Yeah, AI just loot the Ember Seal from the boss. You should be able to.
And then the gloves, any ropes.
I already have them.
Alright, going to Ramsey then. Nikki just
That was
takes
easy.
AI.
Just play probably. Oh, I looted Aya Shadow for you. It's for you, my friend. All right, let's take the portal to Darnassus and just play it. Trade me. Hold on.
Is it in the Shara, the world boss?
Thanks, dude.
Yeah. Oh, Darnassus is gone. The portal to Darnassus is gone. Could get another one.
I just clicked it as well. I can't do it for you.
Yeah, that's fine. Grub is.
Grub still there?
Yep.
Perfect.
Thanks for coming, Loner.
Oh, yeah. It's all good. And
Slightly better indeed.
level 37. Oh, yo.
Are we headed to Ashera?
Yes, correct. With the new numbers, 17 people, but more healers. So there's how many healers we have? 5, right?
We
I
have
mean, it's
4.
going to be tricky still. 4. Oh no, then we can't with 4.
Just play Human Priest, Chillax, and yourself.
Yeah, we can't. It's not enough. The numbers don't add up. Even with Kazakh, we were struggling to heal everyone.
But yeah, Brill, are you up to dust off a Brill for this fight?
I could maybe.
If you're not comfortable, then that's fine. Let's not push it. Let's not push it.
World, I have
Agreed.
never healed.
Our DPS is lacking severely.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, I think the only thing we can do then is maybe some introductory molten core. But even then, with 4 healers, we need 5 at least. Or we could go on the PTR and try some of the later trash packs, because we have most of the things already ironed out, but the later trash packs are also quite hard and interesting. So
Yeah,
what do you guys think? Let's discuss.
We have 2 players that they're just filling for the world bosses. We're really just 15.
Yeah, I don't think they were coming for Molten Core. I mean, we could ask them.
I mean, I can go Molten Core or Oni or Ashero if we need to. I don't mind.
The issue is that even with you, we don't have enough.
Yeah.
Should just go PTR then if we're not killing Azurgas.
Yes, I would imagine that is a good idea, but maybe I'm missing something. The issue is that, of course, it's the summer. Like third of the raid is on vacation. Then 2 people just signed off that as not coming 2 minutes before the raid. So now we are really struggling to fill even 20 people.
Yeah, there's no need for PTR though. We won't be able to do it. We're kind of just.
We can just do the trash packs on PTR because it's
gonna be,
mainly
like,
the
healers.
tanks that need to like learn how to do them.
Altric Valley.
You need
That'd be fun.
32. You need 32 to pop it. 51
Oh.
to 51 to 60.
Damn.
All right, so if you would come to the PTR to test some of the second part of Black Rune Lair, let's call it that, the spicy trash packs, please press yes on the ready check. But if you don't want to do PTR and rather just do stuff, just press no. No pressure.
Wait, what was this for?
PTR Black Rune Lair trash packs. All right, so we definitely can't do it. We have 7-8 people that do not want to do PTR currently. So I guess we'll just call it for now. I know PvP. I would do an Arathi Basin. I haven't done PvP a single time on this server. AI, on the PTR, I can generate gear for you from thin air, so that's not an issue. But even if you changed your vote, we would still not have enough people.
Got connections.
Yeah. All right, so who's down for some PvP then?
Let's go.
No one. I see.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah, Arathi, right?
How do you queue for
Have to leave party and then dot Arathi.
Yeah, so thank you guys. It sucks that we couldn't do much this week. It really sucks. But it is what it is. First time we couldn't do a proper raid ever since December. But I guess that's just summer.
It happens.
Yeah.
Vacation time.
Yeah, indeed. So you guys queue, and I'll join as either Warlock or Paladin, depending on which faction needs more support. And how do you join? Arathi or something?
Yeah. But nobody's up. Nobody's in. Oh no, now. Yeah, good.
It popped. Alright.
Nice.
Used to be my favorite battleground.
Come as Paladin.
Paladin. Okay.
No. There's 5 alliance right now.
No. Come as Paladin.
There's 3 Horde, 5 alliance. Yes. So,
okay.
Yeah,
I can join on Blitz alone instead.
I'm coming as well.
You
Yeah, I
need to
just-
get 15 kills on your paladin.
Do I?
To be
To
part
be in
of
the
the
pool,
PvP
yes.
pool, you need 15 honorable kills minimum.
Yeah, but I don't like. Don't want PvP gear.
But
It's only for you
the
guys.
thing is, the more people are in the pool, the more people can be in the top of the pool to get more ranking. So if you just
Yeah.
come on all your characters and get 15 kills, that
Yeah.
makes the pool
Maybe I
bigger.
can join. So I'm joining on Warlock this time, and then on Paladin next time.
Yeah, sure thing.
But have you gotten rank 2?
I don't have any ranks now. First time doing PvP.
Yeah, the rank 2 has a really good trinket.
Is it the one with the spell penetration?
No, it breaks like fear and stuns, I think.
Ah, that one. Okay. Yeah, that's good. All right, boys. Horde boys, what's the plan?
Yeah,
No healers.
Go in and die.
That's how it is to play Horde. Nobody
Warlock
wants to
trinket
heal.
is Charm, Fear, and Polymorph, and the Paladin trinket is Fear, Polymorph, and Stun. So for
Okay.
Oni, it's pretty good.
All right, guys. So it's kind of awkward. We should separate Alliance and Horde chats, I think.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I crashed.
Well, then Horde go to
Alliance
Dungeon 1.
into the dungeon. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go
Alliance
Dungeon 1
2.
for Dungeon 2 for Horde, Dungeon 1 for Alliance.
Alright, so I don't really have much experience in this battleground. What is the goal plan?
You want to keep 3. So it depends where they rush. It looks like they got 3 going to Lumber Mill, so we should go to Blacksmith. We want to hold 3.
Yeah, Blacksmith is one of the good ones because you can get attacked from all sides, but you can also defend it from all sides.
They're all going lumber mill, so they're gonna take farm afterwards.
Yep, so we'll get Blacksmith and go back to defend farm.
I joined WoW Hardcore servers, Dungeon 1 first. Alright, seems like I'm only one in mine.
That's good. They all went Lumber Mill.
Nope, it's I just got Polymorph for 50. Polymorph works for 50 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah. Welcome to the Horde side of gameplay.
Wait, hold on.
They're going to farm.
Why?
They're going to farm.
What's going on? This
1, 2,
is
3, 4.
I can't see. And my UI is bugged. All right.
I feel that's a constant with you, Shot. Like.
No. Like, am I dead? Have I died?
Yep.
Okay, I'm still alive on my end. I couldn't see anyone. All right, never had this happen. I think it has to do something with me crashing.
We're gonna defend farm.
Just getting slaughtered here.
I have to relog. It will kick me out, right?
Someone should take mine. I can try.
There was a mage. I don't know which mage.
It's Loner.
So the best thing to do is to defend the flags. Just get 1 hit on them. They're gonna win for sure. But try to keep 2. Don't go off by yourself. Stay grouped. Just watch the flag. Don't get drawn into fights near the flag and not defend it. I'm gonna join Shard at mine.
Should I wait for you?
Go in if you can. If there's no one there, go ahead and start the battle.
Well, probably hiding. I don't see anyone. Maybe just my UI again.
Great. 30 seconds passed, another 30 seconds.
I really forgot how shitty Arathi Baton feels without an epic mount. It's clearly not designed to be running around at 60% speed.
I'll take the flag. There's Grub. There's tanks right behind me. There's nothing to do at the mine. They're all there.
Go lumber mill guys who just spawned. Go to lumber mill. They have
Yeah.
5 cappers. That's sad as fuck.
I'm surprised that they abandoned the farm. Nope, they didn't.
I mean, all they have to do is just disrupt. That's like the only goal of AB.
Do we suck or what?
Yeah, Horde always do.
Like that's the thing when you look at our setup. Like we got 3 warriors and they got 2 mages, so like the polymorph is just so strong in PvP.
Yep.
Yeah, they 2 at farm, 3 at farm, 4.
They're all at farm.
I really wish I hadn't respect from Soul Link.
Ron to go to stables.
Yeah.
Alright, they're coming to blacksmith now. Oh, nope. There's only one at blacksmith. We're zugging by farm. I will just dug this one, but we can't get drawn into fights off the flags, guys. That's like,
yeah,
no point in AB to do what we were just doing.
But like, how do you want to counter when Grub is defending the flag? If you run to the flag, he'll come to you and wipe your butt.
I mean, we're fucked. I mean, they have 2 mages, but
yeah. So,
but
Who thought that 50 seconds on polymorph is fair?
Yeah, and then the diminishing returns, the next is 45 seconds. And then they can actually rotate, you know...
They're all
sheep,
going
Zah.
mine.
Yeah, they can rotate like sheep and Zah. So they can, if they want to, they can like just keep you out of commission for like, you know, 5 minutes. That's a PP on the server.
it's no wonder that the Blizzard in the TPC changed it so CC was 12
Farm,
seconds in
3
PvP.
farm.
Hey, one horrible kill. Let's go. Kill loader. What we won.
I feel you, man. I also 5 deaths, 1 kill. Let's go.
And then human priest came.
I don't know why, but like I had like tank assault really low, and then I died, and then my team finished him off, but I didn't get any honorable kills from him. I think
Yeah,
normally you do.
Yeah, you should, I think.
We should abandon farm completely.
They're running away from farm though. It's only 2 people, 1 person. Only AI there. Now 2.
No, there's 2.
Okay. Yeah, can't take Grub, right? And Loner behind.
Loner, yeah, you're dead. It was
nice.
good knowing you.
Enemy come.
Guys, I really want to play Paladin because I would not die in these situations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
PvP's done.
That is
It's
why
getting
Paladin
there.
is so strong. You can just bubble out
Yeah.
of shit and keep healing. Like, oh, I'm almost dead. Bubble out. Keep healing your team. Lay on hands.
Yeah. Now I got polymorphed and yeah, counter spell polymorphed, you're dead.
Yeah,
Gotta use that succubus.
Oh, I should use succubus, damn!
Yeah.
You're so smart!
Because then you
Okay,
can
yeah,
seduce them.
next time I'll do better.
Oh, Grub is on
Loner
you.
going mine.
They're also at massively outnumbered.
Ah, tanky fucking sword, go away. Oh man, Murasaki is also on me. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Oh, they're also 7 against 6 now. Even better.
God damn it.
And that's a GG.
GG. Yeah, I should really use succubus. Why didn't I think of that?
I'm not sticking around for these games. I don't know about you guys.
Wars and goals would be more fair than this.
No, it would be massively one-sided too.
If we
It's
get
gonna be
Blitz Loner,
it's gonna
and we
be
get like
one-sided because they have more players, and then we're just all melee.
Alright, I'm a turncoat, calling on Blitz Loner.
That polymorph, who created that spell?
Yeah, dude, so toxic.
yeah, I'm cute on for both Warsong and Arati.
I prefer Rathi.
Does that mean there's only 5 alliance now?
Probably. Yeah. No, Murasaki also joined, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 7 vs 6 before, so now it's gonna be 7 vs 6 again on our side. But
Yeah, but you have
Alliance
too
always
many
have more
warriors. Like, I don't know. It feels so sad crushing the warriors.
Yeah, like this is the only day of the week when I'm actually a few respect. I'm usually like arms.
Yeah, that makes it worse as well.
Like I would just demolish you normally, but today, no. I'm like, thank you, sir.
What? You can't demolish a mage even if you're arms. What do you mean? You
Yeah,
have to get
again.
super lucky. Nah, bro.
Maybe with the fab.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, you need to use faps for sure, yeah.
Sure.
Do you
If
know
that
how
counts.
many faps I bought from Incolor?
Fapping for days, bro.
Like all my eels basically goes to shot, and all my faps go to quasi. It's
That's how
It's
that
nice that
is.
you're thinking about me at night.
Yeah, I just wanna have fun while I'm, doing this PvP. I'm rank 10. It's like, losing 10 games in a row. This is no bueno.
Alright, let's do some good teamwork this time. We'll try for 3. 1 person, cap, farm, and then continue on to blacksmith. 2 people go lumber mill.
I'll go gold mine. Wait, did you say gold? Oh, sorry, I didn't actually hear what you
We'll
said.
skip gold mine because we don't want to be
Alright.
spread too thin. We want 3, so we'll go farm, blacksmith, lumber mill.
Okay, I'll go lumber mill.
Alright.
I got an epic mount. I can get it first.
Oh, okay, I'll go stay farm then. I have slow mount.
Okay, so I have fast mount, so I'll get farm first. You blitz loan, you just continue to
Oh.
blacksmith. You're gonna do your control there.
Sure.
And then once
Can
I get farm,
can
I'll go to blacksmith.
Where's wind color going? I would go with wind color.
like I'll
Go-
just follow you, Gun.
You 2 go lumber mill then.
But just remember that you'll outrun me because I haven't coughed up the money for my mount yet.
What a loser.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm
I
sitting
think
at
you,
700 gold right now.
I think you have to be selling those faps for more.
Yeah, but Quasi didn't want to pay more than 30 silver for a fab, I think it was.
He doesn't really want to win, I guess. PvP. Time to spawn some mount gun.
So two of us going blacksmith?
Yep,
You
I'll
know,
join you guys right after.
Grob is going up with the Dwarf Warrior gun, so be aware of that.
Is it Grop and Dwarf?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will sleep Dwarf. No, I will sleep Grop.
Yeah.
No, he resisted my stun.
No, he did.
Long dagger
Oh,
is
okay.
on rogue.
Whitebeard coming
Yeah.
to Lumbermill.
Oh, there he is.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's disarmed.
Wait, no, you didn't.
Oh, Windfear procs. Let's go.
I'm gonna go down to mine.
I'm gonna go lumber mill. Oh, okay, no, we're going that aggressive.
Okay, I'm going straight to stables.
I'm waiting for the Nova. Okay, we got Whitebeard.
Should I protect the stables? No, the smith.
I'm coming. And they'll help you. He'll send. I'm coming.
Okay, I'm dead. Yeah, we lost when the Whitebeard came.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Grop and Whitebeard at the what's it, the lumber mill?
Yeah.
They're probably gonna push for farm, right?
We took stables.
Yep.
Nice.
Let's go to lumber mill next
They
yard.
took farm.
Long Dagger just took the flag at the farm. I'll recap.
I'll come help you.
He was probably gonna
Yeah,
stop.
Long dagger's Long dagger's going lumber mill. You can go do it solo. Where are you? Oh yeah.
I'm at farm.
He's coming to you now.
Yeah.
I'm on way.
Just reached the 1,000 honorable kills.
Oh my god, I dropped him myself. Jesus Christ.
Chelsea, go first.
I'm so bad at this game.
Okay, Blitz Loner is coming. Oh, he's a friend, never mind.
Go try to get the flag. God damn.
I got polyed. Shit, I didn't see Grub.
You can fear Marco.
Ah, and I didn't have ground.
That will solo me.
I'm on Whitebeard soon. I'm almost out.
Okay, we got 3 at the farm.
I've got way too many people here. Jesus. Did they
Oh,
take?
crop! Don't fucking do that shit.
Did the ice blogger one?
Yeah.
He just has
For 10 seconds, just sitting there. Oh, and Long Dagger's here. Great.
Are you fine or no? You're fine.
I'm dying. Always dying.
Yeah, but you guys generally fine, right? Gun, you can take it, right?
Okay, cool.
Oh, you didn't actually interrupt the fucking farm. Wait, I thought you got it.
Yeah, I thought I
Nope.
had it. I interrupted
my
myself
God.
on the last millisecond. It was fucking stupid.
Oh, and they have 2. Oh my god, I just fucked you guys. I thought we had it. Oh lord. That's
Nope,
cringe.
we had 2 rogues.
It's my bad.
And we're on, we're going to win again.
Oh my god.
Annihilated. Whitebeard just soloed 2 of us.
Yeah. His pet soloed me pretty much.
Okay.
How long is the frost trap?
That was 18 seconds or something.
18 seconds. Yeah. I thought it was shorter, like 10.
No, it's more like 30.
But
Yeah.
he used all his cooldowns. But probably all back by now.
Why was he immune to my abilities, though? I wonder.
Beastmaster Shadow one.
He did get
Like,
seduced.
who was immune to what?
Hold on. Fighting Dwarf Warrior now.
I'm coming.
Did we kill the rogues in farm? No, right?
No.
So there's just rogues roaming around.
Wow, that was easy.
But yeah, so did you try to fear Whitebeard's pets or what?
No, I forgot to fear. Yeah, I should have feared his pet. Yeah, I just seduced him and tried to kill his pet, but not a good idea. Should have feared. Very bad at PvP. I'll protect stables. There's Dwarf Warrior coming again.
Grub is at farm. Yeah, and long daggers as well.
Grub
Okay,
is
there's
on
3
the way
at
to
farm.
Lumber Mill,
He's-
so,
Grop is coming to Lumbermill.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see him.
Whitebeard is farm. I'm pretty screwed. Oh, Seb is such a shit bill. Just like Polly. Okay, so there's 3 people at farm.
Grub is behind you, Gund.
Hello.
Okay.
Are you gonna spawn in time there, Shard?
I know.
Damn, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it to dwarf.
1 second late. Yeah.
2 rogues.
Oh, in time,
at
in
the
time,
farm.
in time.
I'm gonna try to keep the rogues busy at farm.
I'm taking the flag. There's
Healing you,
a.
Gund. Go forward, I'm healing you.
No, I can't charge him.
Alright. Oh, I know.
Why did it...
You spawned behind us?
Yeah, I see. I can 101 him, I think, now, with my cooldowns. Just go.
We got long dagger and
I'll protect.
motherfucker.
Yeah, there are 3 people
Oh,
at
okay.
blacksmith.
Then I'm getting the farm, I think.
Oh, we have 4 now. Damn.
Oh, there's a wait. Oh, I didn't see Grub. Grub is at farm.
There were 3 in the blacksmith. Like, yeah.
Fucked up.
Alright, there's still 3 at blacksmith. It looks like they're going towards farm. I'm gonna try and sneak blacksmith. Whitebeard's still there.
Oh, now long dagger. Oh, whatever. So boring. Grub long dagger is at farm.
No, we're good. We have 3 bases.
Murasaki is gonna.
Kill tank. Anyone at lumber mill need help?
Yeah, I just saw Murasaki, but you're gonna need to defend over there.
There's no one here.
Dwarf will spawn at their location, I think. At their.
Okay,
home
I
base.
will protect them. Okay, I'm staying.
Yeah, he's
I just
coming
killed him
down.
again, but yeah.
Grub is going to blacksmith. And
Yeah,
tanky
me
should
and-
still be near farm.
Yeah, I
Okay,
guess
no,
Jeff
my
will
Grub
go
is going lumber mill instead.
I'm going up. He's came. Yeah, Dwarf Warrior respawned. You're right. I'm stuck here defending stables.
I'm gonna try to kill long dagger.
Got 2 at Lumbermill to try to distract them.
I should just fucking.
Fuck.
Oh, fuck, man. Wing clip is slowing more than Frost Shock is.
10 seconds, man. I'm out.
There's 3 at Lumbermill, so we should be able to get something else.
Yeah, long dagger is still at the farm. Now they're on the
Die! Oh, take the flag, take the flag, take the flag. Before they spawn.
Nice callouts, guys. Keep it up.
Oh, Grub is on you.
Ah, he used prep. What a douchebag. Fucking hell. 2 at farm. I didn't see. It's long dagger. Somebody else.
I'll take the flag. You go to the graveyard.
Dwarf Warrior
it's too
going
late.
mine.
He's
Chill tank. He's
aim-shotting
behind
me.
you. Chill tank. Dwarf Warrior going mine. Come behind you. I'm coming to help you. Chill tank. We can get him. I'm just behind him. Just kite to me if you can.
Die. Okay, good.
Long dagger doesn't have prep.
Grub is coming. I got grounding on you, so you should be good. Oh, sorry. Immune? What? Oh, limited invulnerability potion on Grub. Come on, Grub, you're Grand Marshal. You don't need to use lips.
Chill tank. We can take him together. No.
just spawned. They just spawned
Just
right
spawn.
there, yeah.
I'll die. Maybe.
Alright, oh, what the hell?
He vanished. Long dagger. Oh, whatever. I don't know why I'm calling. Are you fine, Chills? No,
Nope.
you're not. I'm helping you. Long dagger's here though. He's gonna come on me. maybe not. I rooted him. Yeah, here, help. I'm a Sheeving Dwarf.
Yep.
Something going on right here.
Yeah, let's do it.
He fucking resisted and now I'm out of mana.
Missed the timer. 29
Yeah, and
seconds.
frozen 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Aim shot on me. Come, please.
This is so disgusting. Grub is also here. 3 at farm. So
we're-
lucky of him.
Yeah, Loner, we're gonna have to probably go lumber mill. We'll see what they do. Luckily we capped it, so they're gonna need to recap it. That's nice.
It's a battle. Good job, guys.
Gotta go and gold mine.
Two people respawned. Whitebeard. No, just Whitebeard. I need some help. Woundcaller.
Yeah,
Could you stay behind, please?
I can stay, yeah.
I
you
can't
charge
take
him?
counter, I think.
No, he didn't get in time. Grub is probably also here still, or what do you think?
I don't know. We'll see. I know there's a stealth.
Looks like he is on gold mine.
I'll bait the sap.
No, I got this up. He's not gonna sap you, of course.
He'll do that though.
Can you fear them?
Oh, I got Grub is on me. Shit.
Sap is so broken. Nothing much to do.
It's so easy for Grub. He just runs in and spams Arcane Explosion. Like he doesn't even use spells anymore.
Nope. Yep. I couldn't finish my fear cast. Was casting for 4 seconds.
Oh, we just got it. Yeah, they took it over.
Rogue's
I'm
just
going to
fucking
mine.
broken, like Jesus Christ.
A mage speaks.
No, but rogues are way better than mage. What?
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. With like prep and shit, advantage, whatever. Like what?
Prep is 10-minute cooldown, right?
Yeah. So is my cold snap.
And ice block.
Prep
Yeah.
is way better.
There's the same ability.
Yeah, but they have more outs, I think, right? Or am I? Wait, they have also blind. And they so
blind
they
and
have
gouge.
more outs.
Wait, Dwarf Warriors fucking bugged for me.
There's a lot of blacksmith.
It's basically only if the mage is able to get the rogue out of the fucking stealth, right? I think. Otherwise, you always have one less thing than they do. Because they get the opener.
Oh, yeah, there's a rogue here on the farm just sapping.
I'm not saying 1v1s is probably fine, like generally, like in a duel, but like when it's open world shit here.
So Dwarf Warrior's name is like 100 times bigger than it should be, so I can always see him wherever he is.
Yeah, that also happens from me from time to time.
Sure, I just saw someone jump down from blacksmith, so they're gonna be coming.
Yeah, I'm coming to intercept them so they can't reach you.
It's so funny to see Dwarf Warrior play because like
lucky.
he'll run past you and like, why isn't he going in? And the second he starts to go in, you know
Oh,
Long
I'm
Dagger's
good,
right
so.
behind you, stunning you.
Yeah.
he never goes in undefended.
Alright.
Well, we gave it a good shot this time.
One more
Well
time?
done.
Or are we done?
I would do a war song.
We're gonna do war song.
I would rather do War Song, yeah. There's too much running in Arathi.
Yeah, it's nice that there's a time on it, whereas war song can just fucking take forever.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, that actually is nice.
I like Arathi more. Either Storm was the best, in my opinion. Like, I really enjoyed that.
And like Valley where you just chill and earn.
Yeah, but there was so much running in that shit.
No,
And then you've got killed on the way there, whatever. Oh my god.
No, you just go grind the harpies and then quest around, run some rams and ooh, Black Lotus, cool.
Wait, what? Black Lotus in there?
Yeah, there is a Black Lotus in the middle of the game every start. I think they removed that in Classic though, but normally there's a Black Lotus in Arathi.
That's interesting. Oh, but fucking rogue, man. Jesus.
4-on-3.
Super toxic.
It looks like a fun game. But yeah, Horde is kind of not Horde, but like I think there's some like PvP like battle stuff that isn't right. Like so
There's too much damage on the server for sure, 100%.
is
Much
there?
damage about what? From
Just
what?
raw damage in PvP is too high on the server. It should be a lower amount when you're in PvP.
You mean there's resilience or what?
Not resilience, but there's like if you look at the vanilla servers when you go into PvP, I don't know the math on my head, but Blizzard reduces damage that you can do or take, whichever it is.
So it is resilience, is what you're saying. That
Basically,
I didn't
yeah.
know there was inherent resilience in Classic. I don't know. But I didn't do PvP in Classic. I did PvP in TBC.
But the like for me the annoying thing is that if they have like 2 mages and 2 rogues, then they can just sheep 2 dudes and then 4v2.
Yep.
It's super toxic.
And right now they have 1 mage and 2 rogues. So that's
fine. We got a warlock and we can seduce, fear, and sheep.
Yep. I can do TC2 alone.
Very nice.
If all I can get my casts off.
Yeah, the problem is they just sap you. Oh, wait, no, they have to sap you and then kill the succubus. How tanky is the succubus?
Alright, 5 versus 5 now.
Not that tanky, but if they start killing the succubus, I just fear.
Not if
If
you're
it's
sapped.
1v1, it's not a problem.
If you're sapped?
If I'm sapped, yeah, it's a problem, of course.
Yeah.
I'll try to see if I can mind control a tanky sword if it comes, dwarf warrior if it comes on us.
I'm just gonna try to see if I can sheep grub.
Are we fighting?
Yep.
We are, right?
Pick off the last 2 in the back.
Good.
I will charge
Right.
Whitebeard.
Okay, I got the dwarf warrior under my control. Let's see if you can make him attack.
Whatever, I'm done.
again.
The rogue is on me. Bullshit. I fucked up.
So dwarf warrior is gonna come out of control right now. Ah, immune. Seriously, Grub, stop using lips. What the fuck? Like, he doesn't need it.
To be the best.
Best around.
Toxic bunch.
Yeah, we've mostly been winning recently, right? Like in this week.
They just 4v5 us right there. Because we wiped out Whitebeard immediately.
Yeah, and I had dwarf warrior CC'd for
Rob's
20
by
seconds
himself
in
on
that
our ramp.
entire fight.
Yeah, but the problem is that I'm sapped. Chillistan, could you run behind? Oh, you're fighting. Gun on your left. Oh, but he's not coming out. Okay.
There are 3 people in our base, I think. Or, yeah, it's 3.
I'm just sleeping here for 30 more seconds.
Enjoy the nap.
Yeah.
Enjoy the Horde PvP experience.
Gun, you'll get sapped next.
I mean, if I get sucked, I'll just suck courage.
Alright,
Okay.
they're going tunnel with the flag. I don't see him up here.
Yeah, so we're just waiting for the flag now. Okay.
He's likely coming out the tunnel.
Yeah, there are 3. It's Whitebeard with the flag.
I can grab.
A poly grab. Go for them, go for them. Killing Death Warrior.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm running home with the flag at our ramp, but I got the long daggers. Yeah, he's behind me, long daggers behind me. So anybody can come to our ramp. and support me.
Come up ramp out.
Oh, you ran towards grab.
Murasaki is like 100 health and is escaping.
Yeah, I can't get to you, bro.
Ah, I'm blinded! God fucking damn it!
I'm on my way, I'm on my way. Chill.
Ah.
Grub sheep is breaking, I think.
Yeah, it's fine.
No. I'm here, he's dead.
Watch out for Grab, he's not sheeped anymore.
Got 3 coming up our ramp.
Yeah, Grob is coming up there.
I need to drink really badly.
Alright, there's 4 of us. And 3
Nicely
of them.
done.
Good job.
I'm glad you didn't throw your fucking headphones away or some shit. Like, it sounded
Wait,
really
we
angry.
got the flag? Hold on, why wasn't I part of this? Oh yeah, I was tapped for 30 seconds.
It's just I hate getting blinded when I don't have my poison cleansing down.
They all went to the tunnel except for
Yeah.
Grub.
Murasaki's alone.
Where's Grub?
He went to the Alliance base.
Are you chasing down Murasaki or what? Okay.
Yeah.
And then we should still kill Grub.
Grub is polying us now.
He's seduced.
I'll poly him. Kill Grub.
I'm healing you, Chills, before we go in. And wait, I'll
Okay.
dispel his shields.
A dispel
He's
on
dispelled
me
now.
would be very nice.
We don't have dispel.
We don't
Yeah,
have
I know, I
dispel.
just did it.
Alright, let's get our flag, guys. Everyone focus on our flag.
We should just get our... Shouldn't we get their flag?
When Colin can get theirs, let's us
Yeah,
rush them because
yeah,
we
I'll
with their
take
characters.
that flag.
Have you seen them?
Not
yet, I
in
don't
the
see
last minute. Just waiting around here or what?
They are to the west. The east, sorry. East. They're all the east.
Ah, yes. I'm sapped.
Oh, I saw that sap. I'm going for him still.
Good luck, guys. Go on without me.
God damn, the frost nova got is erupted.
Ugh. 20-second fucking. Go their
Are we
graveyard.
losing this?
Color, go their
Oh,
graveyard.
no. Oh, that was not sexy.
Annihilated us. Perfect
Yeah.
CC. I didn't move.
Yeah, no, the problem was that Murasaki and Grub got there in time. That was the issue. And they were
Everyone
more than
run
us.
to win color.
I'm running up our ramp, but I won't make it. I got Grub and Long Dagger on me. Like that's this is gonna be.
Do you have movement speed boosts?
I used what I have.
Okay.
Ugh.
Well, we'll just have to regroup. Sheep Grub. Ruin these fuckers. Wait, he got out of the sheep. How?
Probably his token. Trinket.
No, you can't. Can you, what? Can you drink that?
His
Yeah, I'm
PvP
pretty
trinket.
sure you can.
I don't know what it is for a mage, if it's to get Dispel Sheep or not.
Ah, like worst feeling in the world. Popping out of cheap shot just to get the kidney shot.
And this is. I'm gonna re-sheep him. They're coming. They're coming.
Oh fuck, wrong button.
God, fuck! He's trapped, I swear to God, Whitebeard.
Wait, he's immune to sheep now.
Yeah, he's
Oh, shard, I saw that sap.
Kill Grub.
Damn
Kill
it.
Grub.
Can't. Dead.
Oh, this is going horribly.
I need to bring my fabs. They're all in on another character.
Oh, they're just circling me like fucking hyenas, man. That's disgusting.
Right?
While I'm fucking sheeped.
Just constant destruction. I'm going for the flag. We shouldn't continue to just plow into them.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Are we
non-stop
not more
control.
than them? No, we're not, right? It's
I
equal.
got set back here, so.
But they just have massive amounts of control compared to us.
Yeah, the only one on that team that doesn't have a long-lasting
Come on,
CC
Steph.
is Dwarf Warrior.
I don't think you have to protect me. Like I'm as good as dead.
Yeah.
Grab a solo in the west.
Yeah, I need to poly the fucking grab, otherwise they get a poly off. Are you fighting grab?
Yep. Not winning.
I am here. Oh, you also came with gold. Shit.
You guys over there got to either go on offense to get
Yeah.
our flag or come defend me.
Yeah,
I'm
coming
to
to
you.
defend you.
They're on our graveyard side, so they're going east side.
Oh, you finally died, Nilla.
I'm cutting across towards you guys.
They also just respawned. Polyed Whitebeard. Killed Death Warrior. Don't hit him, don't hit him.
Oh!
He's still
Fucking...
I got zapped, guys. You gotta get someone on me quick.
Murasaki just jumped me, man.
Wait, what the fuck, the blink?
Guys, someone get over here.
Coming. I ran by a tunnel.
I'm in the front.
Yeah, I'm trying to get...
Yeah, Grub is getting you, I can't help you.
Yeah, we're all dead.
Yeah. That's GG.
I don't know why, but my trinket wouldn't fire off.
Yeah, I'm done.
Double rogue is pretty disgusting.
Like before, he only had long dagger, but now Murasaki is always also here. So
Double rogue is pretty fucking good, bro.
Get zapped.
But yeah, only one of them is PvP spec.
yeah,
Like Murasaki is raid spec, and that's not that great for like duels. But Long Dagger is like PvP spec, so he will basically win everything. Except me, of course.
but it's also just the fact that they always know where we are by just looking at our map, where we never know where they are because
No,
there's
that got fixed. That got fixed because of you last week.
Oh yeah, but not that thing. Just the fact that you have 2 rogues. That means that we can only see 3 out of their 5 people.
Oh right, yeah.
So you never know when.
And also long daggers just popping potions left and right, like Jesus Christ, such a tryhard, it's insane.
I've used 4 potions so far.
Oh, okay, I've used
Alright,
none.
let's try to grab Grob since he's obviously by himself.
Yeah, but we don't know where he's going, right?
Nope.
I'm gonna go up the ramp.
I don't see him coming out top yet. It's in tunnel. He's got our speed coming tunnel.
Alright, on my way.
Going on Grog.
Oh, murder the boy.
Oh, he's
Cheating
gonna get
Murasaki?
it. He's getting away.
Wait, you didn't get him?
No.
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 You
What?
lose with 110.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I was spamming Purge and a Frost Shock on him, but he managed to absorb the last Frost Shock, so he dealt no damage.
I don't even know what he did to I said absorbed when I
Yeah,
hit him.
it's Ice Barrier probably. Oh, Mana Shield.
Mana shield.
Yeah, Purge only does one thing, right?
2.
2?
He just ran through 4 of us. Oh my god.
He also has full PvP set, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got the
Whatever.
High Warlord now.
He's so mega geared, so of course.
Ah,
Yeah,
GG.
well, shit happens. GG. We got one flag.
0 killing blows this time.
Oof, that was rough.
I don't think I have the morale to lose another game.
Yeah. I mean, it's just also rough when gear difference, right? That's the one thing about PvP that sucks.
That's the best thing when you're ahead.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but not very fun mechanic game wise. Oh well. GG.
Oh, there's a warlock bug. I was wondering what was going on. Why I wasn't casting corruption on anyone. Apparently, even though you have it talented, so it's instant, you still have to stand in one place. You can't move and cast.
Well, I don't know because like my friend had the same thing happen that when he got the final talent, he couldn't move and cast. But then he logged out and logged back in, and then it worked that he could move and cast.
Oh,
Midnight's mentioned a similar thing, and then he like just needed to like clear his cache or something, and then it worked properly.
Okay, I'll try that because I just respect today, so probably that's the issue. It's like,
What was it? You
why
can't
can't I
move?
cast corruption? Am I silenced all the time?
Okay. Makes sense.
All right, well, GG guys.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, we did our best, which is not very good, but still our best. Well done.
We did get one flag, come on. Also, one of the Arathi was close.
Yeah, indeed. It was
We
close.
did okay.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I'll see you around next week for hopefully more raiding. Really a shame what happened today. But yeah, at least we got to do some PvP.
Keep the morale up. Good luck for the next raids. See you around.
Thank you, and thanks for coming.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye bye.
So Quasi, what fish to fire ratio do you want?
I mean, I kind of just bought like 350 gold worth of eels, so I don't really need fish anymore.
Okay. Then I'll just then I'll just go and farm. I'm halfway there, so it's not too bad.
I think I'm down to 15. I'll need to save like 10 for my quest. I think I'll just save them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I bought like 400, 500 eels, and now I need to get All of them within Silver Sage.
Super casual player of this game, there's really no reason for you to play it when the bot crisis is a thing, right? So I feel like even in casual, there have been, for the last 4 years, like a huge influx of people who are just very, very good at this game because they're like me, they're addicted. They're fucking like hopelessly addicted. And no bot crisis, no like having to re-queue like 40 times a night is going to stop me from playing half a round of a good match of Team Fortress 2. It's my main game. Yeah, they got a lot of Ubers on blue. I might have been more helpful there if I didn't taunt for no reason. Sorry. Sorry there, Engie. I could have probably air blasted or something. My bad. My bad. Where's Stabby? Alright. Do something cool. That was awesome. Hey, stop it. Well, we've got Uncle Dan on Engineer. We've got fucking...
For the glory of the war, Chief.
Despite having a comparable budget to a lot of other good-looking films of the time, the suit in 2011's Green Lantern is largely considered to be one of the worst-looking pieces of CGI of all time. One so bad that even the film's star, Ryan Reynolds, takes the opportunity to criticize the head floating around on a CGI body at basically every chance he gets.
Please don't make the super suit green or animated.
But is this fair? Wobbly heads and a CGI body were an issue all the way up until Avengers Endgame's time travel suits. And looking back on Green Lantern now, all the way up
Animated.
But is this fair? Wobbly heads and a CGI body were an issue all the way up until Avengers Endgame's time travel suits. And looking at a CGI body were an issue all the way up until Avengers Endgame's time travel suits. And looking back on Green Lantern now, it's nowhere near as bad as some of these other examples we've seen in recent years, and Green Lantern had to do this a lot more in its film than these did in theirs. And so that's why in this video, I'm going to be the only person in perhaps all of history to actually defend the CGI of Green Lantern, by breaking down this suit to explore why this effect is so hard, and therefore why it's actually quite the impressive achievement that they got it looking even this good. And then we are also going to play a little bit of devil's advocate and look at how this single choice to use a CGI suit is probably what derailed a lot of things in this film's production and pretty much caused us to end up with the kind of strange film that we got. So to see why this suit was both a really brilliant but also really bad idea, set your samples to 1, that's a little CGI joke there, terrible, and then suit up as we dive into the visual effects of Green Lantern. So why was Green Lantern's suit CGI in the first place? Were the filmmakers just being lazy, or did it come down to something else? Well, initially, the film's costume designer, Nagila Dixon, actually wanted to head down the practical direction and build something similar to what Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man had. But as the film progressed further and further through pre-production, what she found was that the need for CGI was becoming more and more crucial to being able to actually achieve the vision that the filmmakers had. Because the idea the filmmakers had was for the suit to basically be made out out of the same energy that the lantern's ring creates. And so essentially what they wanted was to mirror that same way that the suit has been portrayed in comic books and cartoons for years, and have it act as if it was this physical manifestation of the wearer's will itself. Which, to be honest, is actually a really cool idea, because it allowed them to do a lot of really fun, subtle things that you don't notice on your first, and admittedly probably only, watch through, like having the energy flow around depending on what the lantern is doing, or by doing stuff like having that energy get brighter and stronger as Ryan Reynolds' character, Hal Jordan, gets more and more control over his powers as the film goes on. But as lovely as all of this sounds, what this also meant was that, to do this, unlike with Spider-Man, this costume couldn't just be some spandex outfit that the lantern would just take on and off, but instead, it had to be this energy-based overlay which could adapt to the wearer's body and clothing as this almost manifested layer of armor. And so for Dixon, the only way she could see to make any of this possible manifested layer of armor. And so for Dixon, the body and clothing as this almost manifested layer of armor. And so for Dixon, the only way she could see to make any of this possible was by using CGI. And so, sadly, this is also where things started to go wrong pretty quickly. Because what the end result of this was going to be was Ryan Reynolds' real head having to be blended on top of this CGI body for the vast majority of this film, which, like we said, is something that is so difficult that even modern movies still really struggle with getting this working. And so if this is such a big challenge, why did the filmmakers think this would work for an entire film all the way back in 2011? Well, 1 year prior to the release of Green Lantern, 2010's Alice in Wonderland was released, and this was a film that had a lot of its very own CGI issues, but what it did manage to do was have a very successful composite of a real head on top of a CGI body throughout the vast majority of its runtime when it came to the character of Stain. And so this essentially acted as a proof of concept for Green Lantern, showing that it was possible to do and emboldening them to go ahead with their CGI body. But here's the thing, it turns out that there are actually two very important factors as to why this technique worked really well for Stain, but at the same time caused Green Lantern's suit to be absurdly difficult. And the first of those two factors all come down to the genius design of Stain's body, because he was purposefully crafted to be wearing this big, clunky suit of armor, which did wonders for his visual effects, as it could cover up all of the complex detail of his squishy organic body, whereas Ryan Reynolds was basically wearing a skin-tight suit which, at the end of the day, occluded absolutely nothing from the audience. And so, whilst Stain's rigid body was relatively simple to get animated and looking right, when it came to Ryan Reynolds' body, in order to create a believable performance that didn't look like rubbery early 2000s CGI, the visual effects artist would have to go in and recreate every single little movement and detail that you would expect to see on a skin-tight suit, like muscles bulging or skin sliding around, each and every time Ryan Reynolds did anything. And when I say anything, I mean even down to the tiny little things like how his stomach should contract every time he talked or even breathed. And so this is already just an absurd amount of work to do for an entire film, and you can immediately begin to see how this can go wrong. However, the difficulty of creating this detail was then made 10 times harder by the fact that the motion capture suit that Ryan Reynolds was wearing on set to capture his performance wasn't actually tight enough for the visual effects artist to be able to visually see all of those different muscular responses in his body as he moved, which, I mean, is a shame for a lot of reasons, but most importantly meant that the visual effects artist now had no idea what sort of muscular animation they should actually be rebuilding on this CGI body, because they just literally couldn't see it, meaning that to figure out what they needed, they had no choice but to film their own bodies and their own muscles doing all of these movements, and then attempt to transfer those details across to Ryan Reynolds' CGI body retroactively, which of course just isn't great for maintaining realism at all, because now all of the sources you're referencing are just completely different to the thing you're actually trying to create. And so when you put this CGI body that has so much working against it, but at the same time had to deliver so many tiny little fake details right next to a real human head with all of its genuine real-world complexity, then of course it's really hard to stop the audience's brain from noticing that something is not right with the CGI half of the character. But you know what? Despite how ridiculously hard this wasn't even remotely the single biggest issue they ran into when doing this CGI head-body match. Because think about it, we see characters with fully CGI bodies a lot these days, and whilst the odds are definitely stacked against them looking good, it's not something that's entirely impossible to get right. And so in this regard, there's no technical reason why just a CGI body should have been such a massive nightmare for Green Lantern. And so this brings us to the second and much more important factor as to why Stain works so well whilst Green Lantern struggles so hard. Second factor which differentiated Stain from Green Lantern, and this was the process of getting that real human head to actually sit on top of the CGI body, or much more importantly, getting that neckline transition point between the CGI and the real human skin to look 100% correct. So what went wrong and what made this such a major challenge for the visual effects artists? Well, in short, the human neck is just full of all of these tiny little details and movements, and these movements are even more important to get right than those across the rest of his body, as almost every single thing you do with your head has some kind of subtle knock-on effect that ripples throughout all of the tiny little muscles and skin in the neck. And so having this area that's so dense with detail be the meeting point between your CGI suit and your real skin presents an absurdly big problem, as you have to constantly make sure your CGI matches up to and keeps matching up to the ever-changing tiny subtleties of this neck. And so again, if we go and take a look at Stain, we can see that they actually gave him this massive collar around his neck, and this just immediately eliminates this problem for you, as now all of this tiny neck detail is very subtly and very brilliantly completely occluded from the audience's view, whereas Green Lantern didn't have this luxury. And so for an entire film, the visual effects artists do something that other films can't even handle for just a few shots, and so you can only imagine how much work it was to get it looking even this good, but also just how much time and resources this meticulous matching process dragged away from other parts of the project, the consequences of which we'll loop back to and properly discuss in just a minute. But first, to give just a little bit more context to how ridiculously difficult this was, there was just one more final thing I wanted to quickly cover that will really help to tie together just exactly why all of this went so wrong. And this was that, before they even got to doing any of these tiny little muscular movements, the visual effects artist first had to animate Ryan Reynolds' suit correctly for the entire film. Because despite the fact that motion capture was used to record the vast majority of Ryan Reynolds' movement, the sad reality of motion capture is that in pretty much every single scenario, motion capture data is never actually accurate enough, and animators still have to go in to clean up and rebuild a lot of this data from scratch. And so this meant that the artists had to spend hours and hours manually realigning this CGI body to Ryan Reynolds' live action performance, which apparently was such a nightmare to do and became such a time-consuming process to get right that the visual effects artists actually started to, where they could, replace the real-life Ryan Reynolds with just a fully CGI clone, because completely replacing him became significantly easier than having to do this meticulous full-body matching process, which is something that I've never actually heard of a film doing, because despite how much bad press CGI gets, visual effects artists do often try their best to maintain an actor's performance, and so for them to say, screw this, and just chuck out Ryan Reynolds' acting shows just how bad things must have been behind the scenes. And so, to wrap all of this up, am I saying that this suit was the most photorealistic bit of CGI ever? No, of course not. It definitely has its issues. But what I am saying is that when you factor in everything this film's CGI was working against, I think this suit is actually a very impressive piece of work. Because, I mean, if you just look at this film's budget, you can clearly see just how many hours the artists must have had to have poured into this in order to get it to remotely work. As if you compare the smaller scales and scope of this film to something gargantuan like Transformers 3 that has giant robots fighting for like the entire second hour of that film, then you can begin to see that probably most of Green Lantern's budget must have gone into crafting those hundreds of shots of the suit doing hundreds of different things. And so the fact that it was this difficult and yet they still managed to maintain a quite consistent level of visual quality throughout the vast majority of this film is something that I think it's never once gotten a single ounce of praise for. But now, does all of this mean that it was a good idea to make this suit fully CGI? Well, probably not. Probably giving him a somewhat at least practical suit like Tom Holland's Spider-Man often wears before it gets replaced with CGI would probably have been a very good idea, just to give the artist something real to work with and to fall back on if they needed to. However, if we do take the premise that they needed CGI to make their ideas for this film work, then did any benefits come from them doing so, aside from the few we mentioned earlier? Well, one positive are those weapons that Ryan Reynolds created with mind, also known as constructs, because whilst they may have lacked in creativity, visually they looked brilliant, and from a production point of view, these effects posed that classic challenge of taking something that works well on the pages of a comic book, you know, manifesting green transparent weapons out of thin air, and then turning that into something that still actually works well on film. And I think the way that the visual effects artists handled this was brilliant, because firstly, they decided that these constructs should actually manifest themselves as these kind of reverse explosions, where all of them would build themselves up around this central point and give it that feeling of your mind pulling together a mental picture as the object manifests itself. Then, to create that transparent look that the constructs have, the artist then went in and built each internal layer of these constructs, making sure to factor in all of their different inner workings, so that then when they blended them all together, you really got this form from energy feeling, because you could see how each and every one was put together. And so when you combine this with the fact that they purposefully crafted the suit to be made out of this same energy, you really do get the feeling that there's this coherent set of rules binding all of the technology of the Lantern core together. And doing this adds a lot of subtlety to the visuals of a Lantern's power set that would otherwise be really easy to overlook. And so, furthermore, along similar lines to this, another thing this film did really well was take the opportunity to inject a lot of background personality into the different CGI characters we see in this film. For example, a lot of effort went into fleshing out how each member of the Lantern Corps worked, giving each one their own unique suit design, construct manifestation style, and even their own unique movement patterns, with Tomar Ree, the fish bird guy, having a much more fluid fishy bird flight style, and fighter pilot Hal Jordan having a much more rigid and tight jet fighter inspired flight style. And so a lot of this creative freedom came from the filmmaking freedom of using a lot of CGI, as now everything about every race on screen could be easily tailored to make it so that these background characters aren't just some generic alien crowd that's gathered there, but instead they could truly be that vision of the Lantern Corps being formed from thousands of different unique individual galactic species, and therefore make this world that Ryan Reynolds is thrown into seem so much bigger, as now, much like him, we as the audience just get a slight glimpse into all of these many different cultures. And so if you ever do sit down to watch this film again, I do really encourage looking at things like the appearances of the Lantern Corps in particular, because there's a lot of really interesting and creative artistic choices running throughout the background of this film, and it is actually a shame that they're overshadowed by the rest of the discussion around the CGI suit. And so to conclude, I think it's safe to say that Green Lantern is a film with a lot of very promising ideas, but that it just took some of those ideas a little bit too far and got bogged down in the ever so enticing quicksand of solving every problem with CGI. But what do you guys think? Has this film actually ended up aging quite well, like a lot of other films from the past have seemed to, or is it still terrible? And what other films do you think had a lot of promise but then just seemed to mess them up in the execution? Oh, and finally, I just want to give a massive thank you to all of my Patreon subs. So thank you to Matt Locke, Cthulhu88, Chris Coling, Archer Green, Modern Adventurer, and an even bigger thank you to Lime, Rye Jones, Ishateth the Car on YouTube, Darth Gator, and then I just have to give an absolutely massive, ginormous thank you to Darren Birmingham for donating in the top tier of the Patreon. I literally cannot begin to explain how grateful I am. So thank you so much, and all of the money from the Patreon gets poured straight back into the videos. So I really hope to keep making videos that are worthy of your support. So thank you again. The visual effects of 2004's Dr. Octopus struck the perfect blend of both CGI and practical effects, because his murderous tentacle appendages were actually brought to life via this highly unorthodox combination of these genuine practical puppets, which were then masterfully enhanced with CGI overlays to achieve this balance of both consistent visual quality and impossible comic book moments that very few superhero films have ever managed to live up to since. And this was all because director Sam Raimi wanted to do something a little different with Doc Ock, and not just have him be another generic villain of the week like we so often get nowadays, but instead use him as this avenue to tell a timeless and universal story. So that's why in this video we're going to cover how exactly they even did these arms practically, how this made the entire story of Spider-Man 2 even remotely possible, and why, after almost 20 years of VFX development between Spider-Man 2 and Doc Ock's return in No Way Home, do his arms look about the same, if not maybe worse? So arm yourself as we use all of this to answer why the visual effects of Dr. Octopus have aged so flawlessly. So why were these arms done practically? I mean, 2004's CGI wasn't amazing or anything, but it probably could have done this for an entire film. Well, from both a character and a visual effects perspective, the thing that made Doc Ock stand out from any other villains is that he's not just one singular character. Because at the core of Otto's story, and the thing that makes him such a fantastic villain, is this tragic tale of corruption that comes along with him, where he initially sets out to give free energy to the entire world, but along the way gets warped and twisted by these 4 mechanical arms that drag him down into a life of crime. And so, to bring this whole corruption story to life, they not only needed performances from Dr. Octopus's actor, Alfred Molina, but also these 4 mechanical arms that were fused to his spine needed to be manifested as their own complete characters as well, essentially taking on the role of Alfred Molina's co-stars, and having to perform alongside him by emoting everything from anger to submission to manipulation, because for them to be these corruptors of Otto, they had to be fully personified as their own separate entities so that they could independently slither around Otto's back and whisper their poison directly into his mind. And so, if you look at this objectively, this is a rather tall order to fill, both narratively and visually on screen, when you consider that half of Dr. Octopus's character is coming from these completely fake things, because these things can't even talk. So this whole corruption narrative would have to be manifested completely via how they physically moved on the screen and how they interacted with Otto. And so, this is where the use of practical puppets became this incredibly good decision. Because typically, if you were going to make a fake character out of CGI and you wanted them to feel authentic, then what you generally do is record a real actor in one of those really unflattering grey suits that digitally capture their emotion and performance for you, because this way a talented actor can lend their skills to you and give you this really realistic baseline for your CGI character's performance. But obviously, in real life, there's nothing that you could use as a motion capture stand-in for any of these giant robot tentacles. And so without this, poor old Alfred Molina would just have to imagine the CGI he'd be acting against. And this would have made it so much harder for him to craft this genuinely powerful emotive performance that makes up like half the soul of this film, because there'd just be nothing for him to work with. And so by choosing to have these genuine prop arms there on set, not only did it mean a massive reduction in the amount of VFX work this film needed, but it also meant that Alfred Molina could build this genuine on-screen relationship with them in the exact same way that actors typically would do, by improvising and bouncing off one another, whilst also building up this whole visual language between each other to create those really nice natural character moments in a way that would be genuinely impossible to do if he was just guessing what digital thing would be added in there later. Because on top of all of this, having those arms there for real also meant that Sam Raimi was able to direct these arms as if they were a real actor as well, and refine down all of those little visual cues that actors and filmmakers tend to work on, like on-screen power dynamics or who is framed in what way to subtly tell which part of the story, and basically with this, really take control over just how this deteriorating relationship between Otto and his arms was portrayed on screen, so that between him, Alfred Molina, and the efforts of a lot of others on set, who we'll get to in just a second, he would be able to tell the exact story he wanted. However, as fantastic as this all sounds, I don't want to give the impression that people who choose to use CGI are just lazy and that practical effects are this amazing, perfect thing. Because this choice to use real arms wasn't just a simple one that came with no strings attached. You get it? Strings, because they're puppets?
Shut up, Dallas, you're not that funny.
Because to do this practically, they had to strap 4 genuine giant prop arms to Alfred Molina's back using this custom harness thing here, and then up to 16 puppeteers on the set would have to move them around and perfectly control them to feel like they were this mix of both a natural extension of Otto that was directly wired into his brain, and at the same time also feel like they have this dangerous level of autonomy to them where they could just grab you and crush you in an instant. And so basically, to get these arms to work properly, it just required insane dedication from both Alfred Molina and the puppeteers and everyone else involved in them, as the timings of all of these little movements had to be meticulously planned so that all 17 of them were in sync and they all flowed correctly into one another with no mistakes. And so the way they managed to pull off this nightmare task was by basically starting development on these arms well before the film's script was even remotely finalized, and then taking 2 years to iron out all of these details, down to the tiny little things that you'd never think about, like how Otto's weight should be distributed as he stomps around on these arms, or making sure that these claws are actually strong enough to pick stuff up, or building this weird custom control chair thing here so that one puppeteer could use all 4 of his limbs to control how the head of this tentacle would emote. Basically, in short, the effort here was just immense, and it was a genuinely fantastic achievement by everyone involved that they managed to bring these arms to life so well. And so, beyond just looking really good on screen, the thing that made this blend of a real actor, prop arms, and then final CGI enhancement, which we'll get to in just a second, so powerful is the freedom that it enabled the filmmakers to have, and how that freedom is basically what made the entire story of Spider-Man 2 possible. Because usually, when you do have a highly CGI character, they're really bloody expensive to have on screen, and so often you don't see that much of them, causing things like dialogue scenes and fight scenes to be awkwardly edited around limiting that character's screen time, and therefore reducing the amount of VFX work that has to go into them. And a great example of this is how in the Transformers films, the Transformers themselves are actually barely in it, because it's much cheaper to just have Shia LaBeouf run around and be an arsehole to people than it is to have giant robots shooting at each other. But with Otto being this human character who was then enhanced with mostly real props, it meant that the filmmakers basically had no limit on how much they could utilize him throughout this film. And so because of this, the film could actually take its time to craft these extensive dialogue scenes and build this relationship between Otto and all of these other characters, and therefore make his arc so much more effective as we get to see him from all of these different angles and truly flesh out how this charming scientist father figure could so easily be destroyed by something so innocent. And this just adds so many layers to the narrative. Whereas if you compare that to Transformers, what do we really know about any of them? That Optimus Prime is stoic and a psychopath? That's all you really get from like 6 movies worth of his CGI character. And I'm sure they'd love to flesh out their characters and give each of them more screen time, but they just can't do that without the film having some insane budget where they could show them all the time. But now, despite just bigging up how practical and incredible these arms are, still none of this would have been possible without CGI, because there's CGI all over this and you barely notice, and so it would be very disingenuous for us to not give this side of the character a fair representation as well. And so, typically, for the mid and close-up shots of Otto, the prop arms would tend to be what was used. But for the wider or more complex shots, like a lot of the combat scenes, or where the arms had to spool out from his back, CGI could instead be leveraged as this very effective tool to create these impossible comic book moments. And yeah, sure, there are some shots where it does look a little bit bad, but there were other shots where the practical arms would go off the screen and then curve back in as CGI, and you'd never be able to tell the difference between the two. So how was it that they managed to get these CGI arms to look so good when other 2004 CGI was not so good? Well, this right here is why I made the claim that this film has the perfect blend of both practical effects and CGI. Because what this film did right was use CGI in exactly the right places where it could be used to look as good as it possibly can. And so a great example of this is how typically stuff like interactions between a human actor and CGI can usually be really hard to get looking right. And so that's often why you see those really weird and amusing behind the scenes videos with the guys in the green costumes. Because what they're trying to do here is fake this whole CGI and reality interaction process. And so you can imagine the messing around that visual effects artists have to go through to get rid of those green guys, add the CGI in there, faking the interaction with them, and then having to line it all back up again to get it looking perfect. It's just a mess to do, and it takes and having to get interaction process. And so you can imagine the messing around that visual effects artists have to go through to get rid of those green guys, add the CGI in there, faking the interaction with them, and then having to line it all back up again to get it looking perfect. It's just a mess to do, and it takes ages, and it often doesn't result in the best looking outcome, and it's just not best for the actors either, because they're having to act against some guy in a green costume and not like a fellow actor who they can build on-screen rapport with. Whereas in Spider-Man 2's case, for all of these interactions, like Otto smoking the cigar with his claws, the real props could be used instead and massively simplify this entire process, which then freed up the visual effects department to go and focus their talents elsewhere where they're much better applied. And so stuff like this is kind of the broad strokes as to how these genuine prop arms helped keep the CGI consistently good looking. But these prop arms were so effective and provided so much value that you can even drill deep down into the minutiae of them and still see how they gave the visual effects artists a lot of different opportunities to make their CGI just look better and better. For example, for just stuff like a reference perspective alone, they now had hundreds of hours of footage of these real arms moving under the exact same lighting conditions they were going to put their CGI ones under. And so, unlike most films would ever have, the visual effects artists now had something, these arms, that they could perfectly match their animation, reflections, shadows, color grades, and much more of their CGI arms against, which of course helped attain a much better result. Or another example of this is how they could scan those real-life props with all of their real-life details into the computer as 3D models, and then use these 3D models as the baseline for all of their CGI, causing their CGI to inherit all of the realistic details like scratches and dents that the real-life props had, and therefore causing it to look a lot more realistic, as now it had the same weathering and grunginess as the real-life prop had, rather than being some perfect, clean, computer-generated object that would just immediately stand out as wrong. So basically there was just all of these tiny little different ways they could drip feed realism into these arms and just use this to keep the visual effects process as simple and easy as possible. Well, you know, as simple and easy as you can possibly make visual effects. Because I may have underplayed the sheer amount of effort that the visual effects artist also put into this project, as from a digital perspective, getting things like the CGI arms movement correct was just as much of a nightmare as doing it in real life for pretty much the exact same reasons, like nailing down his very unusual movement pattern, or just how complex he is with all of these different moving parts. And so basically by having so much of this CGI done for real, a lot of realism was just gifted to the visual effects team, essentially for free, and allowed them to reach that bar of realism so much easier. And I just don't know why films have stopped doing this, because it clearly provides so much value in all aspects, from visual quality to character development to storytelling ability. And the fact that we don't see this anymore is just a mystery, honestly. And so these claws having this perfect blend is already doing a lot of work to make this film's effects look great. But what's really interesting about Spider-Man 2, and what is pretty much the reason why the rest of this film's visuals have aged so gracefully, is that we can actually observe this perfect blend running throughout all of Spider-Man 2's visual effects to make it so that all aspects of this film look as consistently good as Otto does. Because, for example, stuff like the environments for these big comic book fight scenes were also absolutely crammed full of CGI, but because this film was edited in such a clever way, and because they also blended a bunch of practical and miniature sets into their CGI ones, it doesn't feel anything like the big CGI sludge fest we get nowadays. And in fact, this process here is so impressively done that it probably deserves its whole own entire video dedicated to discussing them. But in short, what this film does so well is constantly switch between shots that are loaded with CGI to shots which have little to none. And you can see this for yourself if you go back and watch any of the big comic book sequences from the Raimi trilogy. Each sequence is this revolving door of all of these different techniques, constantly swapping between each scene that's been dedicated to discuss, so impressively done that it probably deserves its whole own entire video dedicated to discussing them. But in short, what this film does so well is constantly switch between shots that are loaded with CGI to shots which have little to none. none. And you can see this for yourself if you go back and watch any of the big comic book sequences from the Raimi trilogy. Each sequence is this revolving door of all of these different techniques, constantly swapping between practical effects and CGI. And therefore, because of this, just like with the arms, each technique gets the opportunity to be utilized in the exact right place at the exact right time, and therefore get used to its maximum potential. Because if you ever do have some CGI that looks bad, like Alfred Molina's digital double, which is probably one of the worst looking effects in this film, then you can constantly cycle that effect in and out and instead depend on things like his stunt actor or even close-ups of Alfred Molina's face. And so because of this, no one is really going to complain if every 1 in 10 CGI shots looks a little bit bad, because that shot is being supported by everything else around it in the film. I mean, think about it. Who has ever really complained about Doc Ock's visual effects, despite there being a bunch of bad shots in this film? You just don't hear it, because even in these highly CGI moments, there's still a lot of real elements bleeding their way through into it. But now, before we go on, something I just wanted to make clear is that despite going on about how impressive all of these real visual effects are, and how well they're spliced into the film, and just how good it all looks, this isn't supposed to be some video ripping on CGI and calling it rubbish and saying that we should all return to practical effects. But instead, what I'm trying to do here is highlight how both of these different aspects of filmmaking have their place. Because if this entire film was possible to do with just practical effects, then we'd already have seen it 20 years prior to Spider-Man 2, before computers got involved in any of this. But it turns out, if you're going to make a story about a guy who goes swinging off buildings and fighting giant octopus men, then you kind of need CGI. Otherwise, it ends up looking like, well, this. And so my point is basically just that. The overuse of CGI is not the enemy in modern films, but where the problem lies is in the underuse of practical effects. And we'll get to that soon, don't you worry. However, there was just one more final thing I wanted to quickly touch on, because I think there's one final piece of the pie that really works to sell this practical and CGI blend so effectively. And that is just how well these effects were actually applied throughout this film. Because this film goes out of its way to make both Otto and his arms absolutely terrifying to the citizens of New York. And this really works wonders for the film's visual effects, because Sam Raimi originally comes from a horror background, and that really bleeds into a lot of aspects in this film, but nowhere better can it be observed than in the hospital scene, where after Otto's experiment goes wrong, a bunch of doctors try to remove the arms from his unconscious spine, and in response to this, the arms begin to defend themselves, and let's just say it doesn't go too well for Team Doctor. But what's really interesting about Raimi's approach to this scene is that, despite this being the big reveal and the first time that we see Otto's arms being used for evil, the focus isn't really on them here. But instead, the focus is actually on these poor scientists who are getting brutally murdered, often tucking the visual effects arms away in the background, and instead using horror film tropes like tension and release, or just overemphasizing the brutal nature of all of this to shift the scene into being much more about its human element and the performances of real actors than any kind of CGI spectacle. And so this not only reduces the screen time that the CGI arms need, but also it just makes the visual effects a lot less important to the success of this scene, because it's not really about them, but instead it's about the suffering of these poor people and immersing you into this chaotic moment alongside them. And I mean, this might sound like a rather simple reason to praise the visual effects, because yeah, every film is trying to immerse you. That's the entire point of them. But the difference here is that a lot of other films are trying to use these impressive, impossible effects moments as the primary way to stir emotions within you, like trying to make us feel like how it would be to be that superhero and fly around or fight crime, which is great and often works really well, but it also means if those visuals do look bad, then they don't really have much else to offer us beyond that. And without any other emotional weight to any of this, things can fall flat really, really quickly. And so this is when things start to become CGI sludge, because you reach the point where the effects are starting to detract from the much more important narrative. Whereas this scene is using the emotions of the people to tell its story, and so it doesn't live and die by the quality of its visual effects, because they're only there to support a real human performance rather than being the entire performance themselves. And so I'm not throwing shade at power reveal scenes for being overt and flashy or literally about the powers themselves, because that's often the exact point of them. And to be honest, they're often some of the best parts of this genre because of the pure spectacle of them. And I also want to make it clear that I'm not insulting the work of visual effects artists themselves when I describe any of this as sludge. In fact, I'm actually trying to say the complete opposite, that if CGI looks bad, it's often something that's actually happened upstream from their work, like crappy on-set decisions or the choice very early in planning production to completely depend on CGI for something that really doesn't need it, or just general weak overall filmmaking direction, all of which are things we'll cover when we get to No Way Home. And so all I'm actually saying is that by making the visual effects a secondary part of this story, it just opens up a lot of wiggle room in CGI quality for us as the audience, because there's so much else for us to work with in this scene. And so even when there is the occasional dodgy piece of CGI, your critical brain isn't kicking in and stopping to ask, was that CGI? Because instead we're just fully swept up in the well-executed drama of all of this. And so once you start to notice this, you can actually begin to see this use of both horror tropes and making the arms secondary being leveraged all throughout this film to both keep us constantly swept up in the story, whilst also, once again, keeping the film focused on character above anything else. Because almost every time Otto appears within the city's limits, the film makes an effort to slowly build up that tension, usually by either showing people's fearful reactions to Otto's stomping approach in that Jurassic Park style, or by just straight up displaying how the average citizen is actually insanely afraid of this guy. And this is such a good choice by the film, because by giving us this terrified window into the lives of just these normal people, it actually makes Otto feel like this very big deal who's terrorizing the citizens of New York, and not like just some random bad guy who's the fifth one to pop up this week. And this is so much better than when we just see hundreds of faceless civilians just get randomly killed like movies love to do nowadays. As even though we've only known these people for like just a few seconds, seeing them terrified like this gives them this really human element. And this actually creates some stakes in the story, because if it's just a bunch of faceless victims getting eradicated, then who are the heroes even supposed to be saving? If there's nothing human about this at all, then what even is there for us as the audience to be invested in with this story? And in fact, this whole concept of Otto being a genuine problem is actually so well tied into the narrative of this film, because with him being this problem, you can actually go and make a really plausible argument about why people would distrust Spider-Man when he's wrapped up in fighting this guy. Because, I mean, there's a giant 8-armed crazed scientist stomping around the city slaughtering people, and Spider-Man's best plan is to go and punch him? No, let a SWAT team or the National Guard deal with him, is what some people might say. And so this, combined with the intense level of fear that we know all the citizens are feeling, comes together so well when Joey Diaz and the rest of the citizens on the train finally stand up to Otto as well, because now we know just how much fear they're putting to the side to protect Spider-Man from him. And it just makes it such a rewarding moment for a lot of Peter Parker's character arc up until this point, because now we finally get to see just how much his efforts are valued by the people of New York, despite what the news might make you think, and it really shows that his choice to give up what he wants and keep being Spider-Man is the correct one. And this all ties up really well when, in the end, Otto has to make the exact same choice.
Sometimes, to do what's right, we have to be steady and give up the thing we want the most.
And so, with all of this in mind, I really encourage you to, next time you sit down and watch Spider-Man 2, to start looking at just how well the different jigsaw pieces of this film come together, from the ways it's edited to obscure the CGI, to how the film consistently uses tension and presentation to keep you as immersed and wrapped up in it as possible. Because when you bundle all of these different techniques up with the fact that hundreds of very talented visual effects artists worked in this film for hundreds of hours and used the most cutting-edge CGI tools they possibly could to refine all of this animation animation and subtle movements down perfectly, then it's no wonder that this film came out looking fantastic. And it's nice to know that Spider-Man 2 has gone down so well, because if you look at the efforts of everyone involved, then it really, really deserves it. And so I suppose the major running theme throughout all of Spider-Man 2's visuals is that thanks to the effort of everyone involved, there was just so much less CGI on screen than most films would ever usually have. And when it was used, it was just used fantastically. And so, considering all of that, let's go almost 20 years into the future from Spider-Man 2 and check out Doc Ock's return in 2021's Spider-Man No Way Home and see whether they kept this perfect blend. So, did they? Well, if you haven't already guessed, they did. There was no more puppets. This time around, the arms were fully CGI. But to be fair, I'm actually kind of okay with this, because CGI in general has gotten a lot more dependable than it was back in 2004, but more importantly, Alfred Molina is just a lot older now, and I doubt he wants to have 60 pounds of giant prop arms strapped to his back. But where this film did go a little bit too far, in my opinion, was using CGI for everything else in this sequence. Because yeah, they did actually do a lot of stuff in this scene practically. They blew things up, they crushed cars, the new Spider-Man Tom Holland did some cool stunt work, and then they replaced most of that with CGI anyway. And because of this, at times, you can just tell that what you're looking at is a little bit of a cartoon. And that really isn't helped by you could work with, and I doubt 2004 have 60 pounds of giant prop arms strapped to his back. But where this film did go a little bit too far, in my opinion, was using CGI for everything else in this sequence. Because yeah, they did actually do a lot of stuff in this scene practically. They blew things up, they sequence a little bit too far, in my opinion, was using CGI for everything else in this sequence. Because yeah, they did actually do a lot of stuff in this scene practically. They blew things up, they crushed cars, the new Spider-Man Tom Holland did some cool stunt work, and then they replaced most of that with CGI anyway. And because of this, at times, you can just tell that what you're looking at is a little bit of a cartoon. And that really isn't helped by the fact that Raimi's amazing direction isn't there, and that the film isn't nearly playing your emotions anywhere near as much as Spider-Man 2 did. And so once you just start to notice that a lot of this is CGI, it does really start to detract from the scene, because you don't get that same sense of danger that you did with Spider-Man 2. But now, I don't actually want to go too hard on the CGI of this scene, because I think COVID played a big factor in a few of their choices for it. And at the same time, a lot of it is actually genuinely bloody fantastic, with stuff like the background being fully CGI and completely invisible, or stuff like the CGI double for Alfred Molina now basically being flawless and an obvious improvement over Spider-Man 2's, which I think was actually the biggest standout difference that I found in my research of both of these films, and it kind of summed up the last 20 years of CGI growth for me. Because for Spider-Man 2, the creation of the CGI digital double Doc Ock was clearly a very big deal, as there were pages and pages of interviews about how exactly they did it, the struggles they ran into, how they overcame them. It just seemed to be both a massive challenge and a massive achievement for everyone involved. But conversely, for No Way Home, nowadays it's just treated as this very standard and normal thing that they just went and did, as if it was just part of the job. And at the same time, the result that they output was 10 times better. And so this just really highlights how far things have grown when it comes to CGI, and how much more dependable it is nowadays, that we're just able to go and make a digital double Doc Ock that looks fantastic, no questions asked. But at the same time, I think this level of growth might have now given filmmakers too much freedom, because something else that was heavily discussed in the behind the scenes of Spider-Man No Way Home was how the executives at Marvel were able to use the freedom of basically having a fully CGI scene to come in and make all the little tweaks they'd ever want, such as moving the camera around digitally, changing the lighting, and basically just restructuring everything in post as much as they wanted to. And whilst, again, this is actually really impressive that CGI has gotten this good, what this also does is kind of take the guardrails off whenever you film something in real life. Because, like we said, in Spider-Man 2, they basically had to get those puppet arms looking perfect on set. But nowadays, everything you don't like can
can just be changed, enhanced, or iterated over as many times as you want. And it's basically just opening Pandora's box, isn't it? Because that roughness around the edges of Spider-Man 2 is what gave it a large part of its charm. It just felt more real and authentic because it wasn't trying to be perfect, and therefore, in a way, it kinda was. And so I'm all for using CGI to create impossible visuals and tell amazing stories, but when you're using it to fix screw-ups that you could have just avoided on set, or tweak tiny little problems, or nitpick your footage, then I don't know if any of these are actually good enough reasons for me to want to be staring at a cartoon rather than a real film. And so basically, I guess what I'm saying is that
with great power comes great responsibility.
And so, to conclude all of this, what No Way Home does is really help to further highlight just how perfect the balance that Spider-Man 2 had was. And it's just another reason why Spider-Man 2 is deservedly held in such high regard. But what do you guys think? Are there any films that struck as good a balance as Spider-Man 2 did? And how did you feel about Doc Ock's return in No Way Home?
And speaking of absolute legends like Doc Ock, I just want to give a massive shout out to all of my Patreon subs. So thank you to Modern Adventurer, Matt Locke, Kyle Hofling, an even bigger thank you to Rye Jones, Darren Birmingham, Lime, Ishita the Car on YouTube, and of course, the utter legend that is Darth Gator. Because this video was a massive research project that genuinely took me months to put together, and so knowing I had your support really enabled this video to reach the next level. So genuinely thank you again. But yeah, if you like this...
Okay, I am the problem.
Wow, self-awareness. She might be a keeper. Let's find out.
I went on a date with this guy, and he was like, it's getting late, do you want to come back to my place? And I was like, sure, but I'm not gonna sleep with you.
Okay, demonstrating value, making good choices.
And he was like, that's totally fine, just come over.
Okay, being supportive, recognizing her needs, that's a good exchange.
So
You making good choices.
but I'm not gonna sleep with you.
Okay. Demonstrating value, making good choices.
And he was like, that's totally fine, just come over.
Okay, being supportive, recognizing her needs, that's a good exchange.
So I go to his place, he respects my wishes, he's so nice, he cuddles me all night, and I'm like, are you gay?
Oh yeah, okay, you are the problem. So you said no, but you meant yes. Yes, and when he didn't figure it out, that made him weak. This is what I call the mystery zone. It's when women say things that don't match what they want. Meant yes, and you are the...
Are you gay?
Oh yeah, okay, you are the problem. So you said no, but you meant yes, and when he didn't figure it out, that made him weak. This is what I call the mystery zone. It's when women say things that don't match what they want, and they expect you to figure it out. Someone made this cartoon about it.
Are you flirting with me?
Not one bit.
Does saying not one bit so seductively mean you actually are flirting with me?
Not at all.
What the hell is happening right now?
That is exactly how the mystery zone works. That is what she probably did. Bill Burr also has a famous bit on that. He's not the only one. So first of all, I've been told that she is a comedian and that this is a joke. So please refer to my previous work on jokes. There's this one, and then there is Abby's Perfect Man. That was a good one. It may very well be a joke, but that doesn't mean that they don't mean it. The joke is, may very well be a joke, but that doesn't mean that Abby's perfect man, that was a good one. It may very well be a joke, but that doesn't mean that they don't mean it. The joke is, I'm not supposed to say it out loud. Mean that they don't mean it. The joke is, I'm not supposed to say it out loud. So to be really quick about it, every joke needs a target, that's what gets punched, that's why they call it a punchline, and every joke needs an example of doing it wrong. So if your target is something that your audience is okay with you punching, and the thing you're doing wrong is something that your audience can tolerate you doing wrong, you're more likely to get a laugh. Her target is herself, I am the problem, and her doing it wrong is, I am playing dangerous games. I am saying no when I mean yes, because when I get what I want anyway, it's more fun than when I say yes and mean yes. Here's a last minute edit. She's saying it's more fun for me to put men through this, which confuses them, which results in no one knows what means what. That's why they came out with these enthusiastic consent laws a few years ago. It's apparently pretty complicated. Here's a 3-year-old post. I feel dirty for opening Reddit. It says, is enthusiastic consent a heightened standard of consent, or is it a pleonasm, whatever that is? Here's a 3-year-old post. I feel dirty for opening Reddit. It says, is enthusiastic consent a heightened standard of consent, or is it a pleonasm, whatever that is? It gets academic. So these laws are intended to simplify all of this down to just this. It's either a very clear yes, or it's a no. And then this. Laws are intended to simplify all of this down to just this. It's either a very clear yes, or it's a no. And then you don't have to worry about ending up in any of these bad boxes because she said no and meant no, but you thought she meant yes because you are used to girls who say no and mean yes, and you don't know where the lines are. And it would be great if we could simplify it down to this, but writing laws does not make women choose to communicate this way. They still choose to play these games because it's more fun. So writing a law doesn't actually prevent anyone from ending up in any of these bad boxes. They just create more punishments when they happen. Don't do this. Off. So why do women choose this? Video description. If you want access to one of the most powerful forms of learning I've seen, use the link in the video description for a free trial and 20% off. So why do women choose this? Let's ask her.
I wasn't gonna sleep with him. Now I feel ugly. I just wanted him to like try, and then for me to be like, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. What you mean is, hey buddy, don't try it, but I secretly want you to try a little, but only up to a certain point. And if you get past that point, that's gonna be bad for you. But I'm not gonna tell you what that point is. I'm gonna tell you not to try, but I want you to try up to a certain point. And if you cross that point, your life is over. And if you don't get close enough to that point, I'm gonna tell everyone in the group chat, what you mean is that you don't get up to a certain point. And if you cross that point, your life is over. And if you don't get close enough to that point, I'm gonna tell everyone in the group chat, what you mean is that you love chaos, which is typical. The feminine principle is the dark principle in most spiritual systems. It's receptive, it's chaotic, whereas the masculine principle is orderly and light and direct. It's assertive, and receptive. It works like a battery, one feeds into the other. The more feminine she is, the more she wants life to happen to her. She wants you to make things happen. She wants you to say what is going to happen next. She doesn't want to tell you what to make happen. That's where we get these areas where she says nothing but wants something, or when she says or does something that doesn't match what she wants. Because if she comes out and just says very clearly, I want this to happen, well then everyone wins, but it's also safer, which is less fun, because she doesn't get to be receptive. She had to say what was going to happen, she wants you to do that. And I know someone is gonna say, not everyone's like that, everyone's different, and that's kinda true, but not really. Most women are very feminine and are looking for men who are masculine and dominant. There are more masculine women, I've met them. They don't do very much of this. They just kind of say, here's what's happening, here's what's not happening, and then you go, okay, great, and there isn't very much of this. But most women are not like that. Most women will communicate like this or not at all, and they want you to say, here is what is happening now, and you need to be correct about what she wanted, whether she said it or not. So how do you do that? Yeah, we don't know either. That's why they have websites explaining it for college students in Australia, I guess. The website provides 5 core concepts of consent in case you want to bring notes, and it breaks down seeking and receiving consent into verbal and reading body language, which doesn't solve any problems, cause if she's playing dangerous games, if her words and intentions don't match, you can't solve that problem by saying, please tell me what happens now. Please take this role and say what happens next. This is what she's trying to do. You can't be this. And reading body language is just reading her mind. It's just figuring these out. That was the original problem. We don't speak body language. Imagine going to court and saying, but Your Honor, she nodded and smiled. That's really missing the point. People write these pages and pages of instructions because they're trying to create cognitive, logical processes to make up for emotional skills that a lot of young men just don't have, and a lot of old ones too. So knowing what to do with these strategies comes from experience. It does not come from reading words on a screen. Although you should read the screen, it's better than nothing. So if you don't have experience and you think you're being messed with, you need to know what are your options. Please notice that these are the good choices on these diagonals, and these are the bad choices on these diagonals. Please also notice that these bad choices, where you go home or say no, are way preferable to these bad choices. I put skulls on them. So if she says no but still wants you to try and you don't,
Are you gay?
and if she says yes and means yes and you don't, then that's just her problem.
But now I feel ugly.
And if she says nothing and wants you to try, then it's why don't men get hints? These are all very tolerable compared to these. Okay, are you frustrated yet? Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, this seems like a lot. It seems complicated. Women sometimes will withhold communication or say the opposite of what they mean on purpose in order to test you and see if you can read their minds, which of course you cannot, otherwise we wouldn't be here. And it can lead to this whole grid of possible outcomes that are very difficult to calculate in the moment. And it's such a big recurring issue that every generation of comedians keeps coming up with their own material about it. And I don't know if you remember this song from 11 years ago. I'm still mad about this. The song is called Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke, and he tried to use it to address this whole minefield, but then everyone kind of attacked him, so he sort of just stepped on a mine. But you don't have to do that. I'm gonna reduce this whole thing to a 2x2 grid. I like grids. And then if you end up here, a subsequent 2x2 grid, and then one weird trick to start understanding body language if you don't already. Because let's face it, if men could read a set of instructions like this and understand what it means by providing another visual affirmative cue, then this wouldn't be a multi-generational point of contention. You should read the instructions anyway, they're just not comprehensive. But first, here are the simplified instructions. Okay, we no longer live in a cohesive society that maintains stable relationships. We live in an unholy sex tornado where people make whatever choices they want, and if you try to tell them not to do that, they scream at you. Usually it's something like this, and usually they look something like that. If you are a man who has any kind of success in the tornado, you will probably encounter some women who play games. They will either not say what they're thinking or say the opposite of what they're thinking and then expect you to make the correct guess. This can be very confusing, but it doesn't have to be. First of all, forget about what you don't know. This is a good rule for everywhere in life. Why would you worry about what someone is thinking but not saying? That's like worrying that maybe there's a meteor hurtling towards you right now. You don't know that. Why would you worry? So what do you know? You know what she is saying to you and what she is doing with her body. In this story, she said, "I'm not going to sleep with you," but then she put her body in his bed. He didn't try anything, and she was mad. He made the right choice. That's this box right here. We'll get to that one last. First of all, a verbal no and a body language no is always a no. That should not require additional explanation. Second of all, a verbal yes, but a body language no is also a no. This is another good rule for life in general. It's very easy to lie with your words. It's very difficult to lie with your actions. If people say one thing and do another, trust what they do. She's not into it. Bail out. Third of all, if she says yes and her body language is yes, it's usually okay to proceed unless she's intoxicated. But finally, if she says no but is acting like yes, you get to this box here, which can confuse some people, and there's no reason for that to be. To explain why, I have expanded this box. So if she's saying no but acting like yes, oh my god, stop, don't. You have two choices. You can try something or go home. Now, if you go home and she wanted you to do something, she might call you gay. So, I get called gay 1,000 times a day. Actually, they usually say incel, but it's a very similar level insult, and I sleep like a baby. So what? Go home. If you go home and she didn't want you to do anything, nothing happens. No good things and no bad things happen. Neutral. If you try something and she wanted you to try something, what are you gonna get? Are you gonna get a wife and the mother of your children? No. You're gonna get a random sweaty hookup, and it might not even be that good. On the other hand, if you try something and you were wrong and she didn't want you to, I've drawn you a tiny little nuclear explosion to simulate what might happen to your life. Don't do this. So the reason people are confused and keep writing songs about this is because they think winning this game means either ending up here or, if you end up here, knowing when to make the right call. But even if you do make the right call, what are you getting? A woman who plays games. What do you want that for? So the real winning move is to go home, let her say whatever she wants, and find a better woman later. So we'll just put a red X in this box too. Don't mess with girls that play games. That means the only box you're looking for is the verbal yes and the body language yes. But if you don't understand how to read body language, what good is it to read a list that says seeking consent can look like reading body language with a list of examples? So these games wouldn't be games if everyone knew what was going on. Women tend to think that men know what they're thinking more than we really do, and they will always say things like, why don't men get hints? And then their hints are just like, they'll look at you real quick and look away, even though they also do that to guys they don't like. And people shouldn't do this. They should communicate clearly, and if they don't, you should usually leave. but they're also not gonna stop doing these things, especially not overnight. So your only option is to get better at discerning this from this. A lot of guys don't like this and they say, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what you're thinking until you tell me. And you're not wrong. It's just that when you say that, you are asking women to learn to communicate differently while you are not learning to communicate differently. And that's not how you make your life better. You have to do some of the work. Earlier, I promised you one weird trick for doing that. Here it is. Lists like these will say, just read body language, bro. Just check for signs. And that doesn't always work because this is an emotional skill. You cannot read it off a list. Men are usually in their heads, the logical part. They're thinking about words and reading lists. Women are usually more in the feelings, the what do I want part of being human, and where do I fit in, who am I, what's going on here. So as a man, you're going to need to use your head to get into your feelings. This is a skill that takes time. You are bringing your subconscious mind into your conscious mind by checking on it. So when you are in a situation where you do not know what someone else is feeling, stop using reason and logic and ask yourself, does this person feel more like they are watching the waiter bring out appetizers or more like they are watching the cops bring a speeding ticket? Because the behaviors can look quite the same. They might be sitting patiently, smiling politely, they might say thank you, but the emotional experience is very opposite. This is desirable, this is not. Your job is to know when you are the waiter and you are the cop. And it's going to take time. You're going to be slowly piping your subconscious thoughts into your conscious mind. And even if you get good at it, you will not always know what's happening. But that's okay, because that means you're dealing with someone who isn't telling you. And then there's only one good choice anyway. Another problem solved forever. You're welcome. All you have to do is forget about mind reading and making guesses. Focus on what you do know, like words and actions. If you are having trouble interpreting the actions, use the cop waiter trick to get out of your head and into
C'est un moment historique. Au premier essai en plus, c'est impressionnant. Ouais. Elle est en train de voler Yaroslava Mauchik, l'Ukrainienne. Et imaginez aussi ce que ça signifie, hein, évidemment, quand on est sportif ukrainien.